Some of y'all black men gonna regret everything you said about a black woman. When you get sick, start getting arthritis, start getting dementia, can't wipe yourself good, you gonna need that woman. As soon as you hit that nursing home, a black woman gonna have to wipe your butt, change your clothes, fix your food. Be careful.
So I'm ready to go live tonight about this goofball and all of his minions. And yeah, I don't care that y'all feel like he's being disrespected in his death. This man right here was a goddamn clown. I listened to this 911 call, and let me tell you, I actually had an emotional response listening to that woman and the distress in her voice trying to save him. For all the shit that you talk about us professional women that are out here doing the work, this professional woman tried to save his life desperately. He sat there giving relationship advice, telling y'all not to date the same type of woman that saved his life. He didn't care about women and their careers. He didn't give a damn about the nursing field, encouraging high-value men to not worry about getting a woman with education and money. But here he was dating a woman with education and her own six-figure job. Just like so many of you who disrespect women, y'all don't really understand the value that we have. Being a high-value man isn't about your money. High value is really about your character, and you guys don't have good ones.
Okay, so hello everybody. Fancy African Coco, you said that he hated nurses and CNAs. Is this true? Because the irony that it's a nurse that's trying to save your life. I wasn't going to go live about this. I went live about Kevin Samuels the day he died. I believe it was about 5-6 days ago. But this is by request. Someone wanted me to do a part 2. So I don't have much to say. You know, I said what I had to say, but I do have some questions on the screen for those who want to call in, because I had a mixture of calls from both men and women about Kevin Samuels passing. Okay, so I want to know, how do you feel about him? When the calls come through, hold on. You know, did you like him? Did you dislike him? What did you learn from him, the people that followed him? Did he promote Black love? Now, I know that sounds absolutely funny, because I don't believe whatsoever Kevin Samuels promoted Black love, but we have some delusional people out here who believe that he promoted Black love. And what is his legacy? You know, I have this picture up here of that lady that he was with. Now, she's not Hispanic, she's Pacific Islander. And as a matter of fact, hold on for a second. Now, I'm going to be honest. There were people trying to diss this lady. I don't know why. Maybe it's because you're upset that she would even be involved with Kevin Samuels. What lady would sleep with Kevin Samuels after all the junk that he talks? But I have a question. If she were Black, would he sleep with her? Now, she's an attractive woman. She has a pretty face. As a matter of fact, let me get better pictures up here. Give me a second. Okay. Her name Alejandria or something. Okay, give me a second. I'm trying to find that picture that I have of her. Okay, give me a second while I find that picture. Okay. This is her. I find her to be a very beautiful woman. She's not ugly. Her makeup is on point. But I found it kind of interesting because Kevin used to diss Black women who wear makeup. He wants us to look like we just got off a plantation or barefoot and pregnant. He seemed to talk junk about women who wear lashes. She has lashes on. If she doesn't have lashes, she definitely has mascara on. She has foundation, she has highlighter, she has her eyebrows filled in, she has the lipstick, she has on clearly makeup. Now, she's not unattractive without the makeup, but I find it to be very hypocritical how he talks down about Black women wearing makeup and doing their hair and lashes, yet she has her makeup done and lashes. But she is a pretty woman. So I'm not one of these women that's going to jump on the bandwagon of trying to diss this lady for what? She's not even ugly. She's an attractive woman. I don't consider her, let me move this phone number. People were going in. Here's the thing. I don't consider her to be obese, like really big, but she's not skinny either. You don't see a huge stomach in her pants. She has thick thighs. She has natural breasts, but you can tell that she's short and she's not slim. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I've seen Kevin Samuels call women skinnier than her fat. I think that's why so many women were talking about her. It's not that we actually think she's fat. I don't consider her to be that fat. She's not huge. She's not skinny. She's sort of thick, but she would be considered plus size, but on the smaller scale of plus size. She's something that a lot of men still talk to. The thing is that we watch Kevin Samuels call women of her weight and actually skinnier fat. Let's just keep it real. If a black woman were to call the show the exact same size as far as height and weight, I believe, and many people know, he would have said, "You're too fat," and he would have dissed her. But a lot of people feel like when the woman is no longer black, it's like the rules switch up. All of a sudden, what's considered fat on a black woman, all of a sudden it's not fat because she's not black. Because her value goes up to him because she's not black. Now, I don't know who Kevin used to sleep with. I don't know if he slept with men. It's been rumored. But he was last with this woman. Some of you are saying that these are two different women. Yeah, it does look sort of different, but these are the photos that's been going around. She has turned off her Instagram, telling people to please leave me and my family alone. God knows what type of emails she's been getting from people on Instagram. Even if she is considered fat to you, she's not a bad type of fat. She's still something that a lot of men will date. I mean, shit. The weight that people threw out there, I'm not far off from it. I'm 5'9", 5'8 and a half, 5'9". People don't consider me fat, yet the weight they're saying she is, I'm around that damn weight. I'm not going to say my exact weight. So I guess it depends on your height and stuff, but I know for a fact that a lot of men do not have a problem sleeping. We all know, come on now. A lot of the women I see criticizing this woman are bigger than her or the same size, which made it even kind of weird. But I think most women are talking about her weight because we watch Kevin ridicule black women the same size and smaller than her. So that's why he's being called, even in death, a hypocrite, because we know he would have criticized this woman's weight if she were black, even though I don't consider her to be huge. I don't consider her, again, to be, if this is the same woman, I don't consider her to be unattractive at all. She's very attractive. And I'm not going to hate on that. So she was a nurse, and a lot of people said that Kevin Samuels had an issue with nurses and women of professional careers. I didn't always watch Kevin Samuels, but I do know that he seemed to have a big problem with women with PhDs and masters. He was a big hater for some weird reason against women who have accomplished things in their life. I think he felt our main accomplishment needs to be getting a man instead of having our own personal goals in our life, and that we need to service men like off the Handmaid's Tale or something. So, I mean, his age thing about what's old and what's not was absolutely ridiculous. And I find it even more ridiculous for a community that doesn't even practice marriage. We're not like foreign people who get married in their 20s. The Black American community ain't nothing like that. So let's stop trying to bring in different, relationship concepts from different groups that don't apply to Black people in America who have a very dysfunctional community. You know, I could see if the men were getting married all over the place, they don't. So I find it weird they're trying to act all morally righteous when a lot of Black men have babies all over the place by different women and they don't get married until their late 30s and 40s and 50s. Like, stop the bullshit. So, all right, I'm not going to talk too long. I mean, I pretty much shared my opinion. It's more shocking his death, you know. People all over the place have different opinions about him. I find, again, the women who are mourning him, but yet they're forgetting that he said not to believe your daughter if she says her stepfather looked at her sexually, that we could live without women and sleep with the boys. I mean, are y'all serious out here? And so much more. People will say that Kevin Samuels gave harsh criticism that was helping the so-called community. I'm not going to lie. I do think that some of the women, I never understood why would you call his show with your hair not done, no makeup on, you look like you woke up out of bed, you look a mess, and you know he's going to roast you in front of millions of people. You know, tattoos everywhere. But the biggest problem is that he made women believe they're not worthy, that it's a done deal, it's over for you. You had a child, it's over. Yet the Black men keep making baby mamas everywhere. And now you complain about them. It's never too late for love. There are people who get married in their 50s still. Okay? It's hope for you. And I think that was the biggest problem, is that he made women believe that everything it's too late. You must settle for whatever you can get. If he beats you, go back. You're lucky he's talking to you. You know, people who said that he promoted black love are truly delusional, because according to him, most Black women's dress size don't match their height, so you're disqualified from being chosen. Truly delusional. Hello?
Hello, how you doing?
Hello.
So, I'm new to your channel. I just started watching not too long ago. After this whole Kevin Samuels passing, I had got into it with a friend of mine about it. And
Talk up just a little bit. It's a little muffled.
Okay, can you hear me a little better now?
Yes.
Okay. So I was talking to him, and I was saying, because he's a follower of Kevin Samuels, and he actually had sent me a video one time. And I said, well, I don't listen to him. And I'm like, what do you like about him? And he couldn't really, he said, well, he says a lot of things that are true about Black women. So, make a long story short, after he passed, I had sent him a screenshot of all the list of things that Kevin Samuels had spoke about, bad about Black women. And he said, well, just take what applies to you, and if it doesn't apply to you, don't worry about it. And then he goes on to say, well, he did speak a lot of things that were true. We actually got into it about the whole thing, because I said, well, the main thing that really I didn't like was the fact that he told a woman not to believe her child when she accused the father of molestation or touching or looking at her, whatever. And he didn't know that. And so he got mad at me and he cussed me out, and we're no longer friends because
Really?
Yeah. And I've been knowing him since I was 16. He's my uncle's best friend. We've always had conversations, but we couldn't talk about this. And he was really in his feelings. And he cussed me out. He called me B. Now, he used to be a Hebrew Israelite. And when he was following the Hebrew Israelite, he never cussed me out of our disagreements before on that. And then now it's like, I'm all type of names, and he's never been disrespectful like this. So
Fuck
I believe
him.
that Kevin Samuels has he's made these men very angry, abusive. He used foul language that he's never used before, all because we disagreed about this Kevin Samuels.
First of all, so did you show him the video evidence of him saying not to believe your daughter if she says that her stepfather or father has been looking at her sexually?
It didn't matter. He didn't care. He didn't care about it. Because it's very touching for me, the whole thing about him telling that woman that. It's very triggering. And I can't even look at some of these videos because of the things that I've been through in my life. I had to rescue my own daughter out of a domestic violence situation. She just had surgery on her thyroid in January. She was with this man for 5 years. And off and on, I've been there trying to get her to leave the situation. She finally left in November. She's out here with me. She lives with me and her 3 kids. She's going to school now. This man is no longer in her life. I don't like domestic violence. I don't like molesters and crack, drugs. Like, all of that is not good for the community. And nothing he said was of value,
First off,
That's all I wanted to say. This is crazy.
First of all, I use the word community loosely. I don't really feel there is no black community. As also, he's not a friend to the black woman. The fact that you can tell him what he said about a child and sexual abuse and he cursed you out tells you all you need to know. But I would not have been friends with him anyway because most Hebrew Israelites, the toxic ones, they were on the street corner saying that when a little black girl gets her period, we can deal with her sexually, even if she's 9 years old. They were preaching that. The fact is, he's an enemy to the black woman because if he were your friend, if he were mature, he would have listened to you and said, well, show me the clip so I can see it. Not, oh, you're a bitch and this and that. I'm no longer speaking to you because he didn't like what he heard that his martyr, his idol, Kevin Samuels, would dare say something that shows him to protect child molesters and predators. Fuck him. You don't need him in your life. You don't need him in your life. He is an enemy to the black woman. And if you do see him again, tell him you are an enemy. Tell him you're not the black woman's friend. You don't even care that we get killed every 6 hours. You don't care. He's dangerous. He's the type of person that would follow a Jim Jones or whatever. Forget him. He's not the friend to the black woman. Period. You don't need him. You don't need him in your life.
Yes, and his excuse was he's just a personality on YouTube. It doesn't matter what goes on his personal life. I said, but that's hypocrisy because you can't preach one thing and do another. I said, so he's a hypocrite either way. So they all are hypocrites, So it's crazy.
And
I blocked him. I blocked him. I don't deal with him no more. I can't deal with none of them at this point. Even my brother. My own brother is just like, I'm done with them. They're ignorant. I'm not explaining nothing. I'm not saying anything else about it. I'm just sitting back watching now, and it's gonna be more than just Kevin Samuels. Their time has come.
What's interesting is how much they can agree with what he said about black women. I don't hear any of them talking about him telling that young man, you don't even have a big penis. You men who don't even have a big penis, what can you bring to the table? We can't even get a big penis. You don't have any money. Your penis game sucks. They don't repeat that because God forbid women start rejecting men if their penis size just doesn't cut it. They would lose their minds if we said, I'm sorry, I don't care what you have. Your penis ain't big enough. I can't deal with you. They would want to jump off a building if we all start rejecting them because of this. And Kevin Samuels actually told women that our sexual, it doesn't matter about us being pleased by our men to go in the bathroom and use our fingers if our men don't satisfy us. This man just wanted us to worship men and be happy with what we get and be miserable in the bedroom. Please.
See? And I don't listen to him. I'm just hearing more things coming out now that he's been saying. I didn't really know he was saying all of this because I don't listen to him. I don't follow none of them. But now that I'm seeing a lot of people making videos about stuff that he was saying, it's just disgusting. And I don't see how he had 1.4 million followers. These people are blind leading the blind. And these days you got to have common sense, discernment. You have to know because you can't just follow anybody online saying anything. You can't. And then their life they're living a double life. They're not living in their truth.
Kevin Samuels wanted black women to not have any standards. And what I would tell black women, he wanted you to settle with black men no matter how they were. The thing is, there's a thing called interracial dating. You don't have to just date black men. You don't have to just settle. You can get what you want with other races of men, you know?
Correct. And then another thing, I just want to say one more thing, and I'm gonna get back down. I like it's like I got married at 43. I've been married twice already. Okay, and it's never too late. Okay, you know, and we're you never give up on having a good relationship. I don't care if it's with a black or white or whatever. You know, if he treats you right, he loves you, and he's willing to marry you and provide, then that's a good man. Period. So it's hope. It's still hope. So I don't care what nobody say. Just continue to be the good woman that you are, and don't settle for nothing less. Period.
So what do you feel his legacy is?
He don't have one. He have a legacy of dust and degenerates running around here. All his followers, all of them, even the ones in my family. So I'm just feeling about the ones in my family. You know, I'm not trying to talk to anybody on the outside about this, you know, because they're not going to get it or understand. A lot of women are so slow and confused, you know, and I speak the truth, and I listen to the content creators that are speaking facts, that are speaking the truth, and that are not fake, period. And I appreciate you, your channel. And I haven't been this vocal. This is my first time even calling on a panel.
Thank you.
Like I'm even getting out. And I just wanted to let you know, keep doing the work. Because it's reaching, my daughter's 27. She just turned 28 May 10th. And she's in school now for business. She's doing so good after she got rid of that man. You know, and and I'm gonna push her to be the best that she can be. And my sisters, my nieces, everybody. I speak the fact. I'm 46 years old, and I've been around for a while. But this year on YouTube and everything that's going on is the first time that I've really seen this is really going on out here. You know, it's sad. It's sad with these men, and they don't care. He don't have a legacy. Kevin Samuel is trash. His followers are. I don't see anything good that he did.
Okay.
And he may not even have money to bury himself, and that's another thing. You know,
I heard about that. I'm like, how is this happening? And this man was worth $4 million. I mean,
you can't tell me nothing. I don't know.
So, okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
I appreciate your time. Okay. Bye.
Thank you. Now, you know, I can be fair. I didn't hate Kevin Samuels, but I don't respect him. He became very problematic more recently. He was already problematic. He said some things to men sometimes, but most of the time he was insulting women and black women. He said that a lot of black women don't have face symmetry. So that's actually a fucking lie. My face is symmetrical. But he said a lot of problematic things. One thing he said to black women, okay, he said, okay, I'll save it. I'll take this call. Hello?
Oh, I'm sorry. Is this Shariba?
Yes, it is.
Oh, hi. You sound kind of different. Okay. So, I just wanted to say that, well, I think that when he did a viral video about the girl who was average at best, I think that was the, I guess, that call for black women to just stop supporting him altogether, because that just showed that whatever that we accomplish, no matter what we try to do to better ourselves and for our children, we will never get the respect that we deserve. And it could be women in any profession. It could be you could be a doctor, a lawyer, or even the OnlyFans. It's like he wants women to be powerless. It's like no matter what you do, like you can't. You're not deserving of any opportunity. You're not deserving of any happiness. It's like he finds any way to try to demean us. We're either average at best, we're because I don't want to offend certain groups of people, but I don't understand, like, why are black women still calling in his show? He's giving you blatant signs that he has no respect for you. That's what bothers me.
You know, that woman who he said was average at best. The thing is that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. There could be someone out there who finds her very attractive. And I find it funny when black men say we need to be softer as women, but yet look how mean you're being to me. You're hurting my feelings. You're talking to me with no care. In front of thousands of people, he did that to that woman. That woman wasn't mean. She was soft spoken, and he humiliated her. He made her feel like shit, and he made her feel guilty for wanting a man making six figures when she made six figures herself. So why is it wrong for her to ask for a man making money when she made money herself? It was like a crime. Yet in different communities, it's nothing for another race of woman to date a man who makes just as much as her. But Kevin did say the average black man only makes $40,000. So he wants us to be, if you only want a black man, and I did say this too, the truth is that you will end up settling a lot of the times. You're not going to get all what you want because on average they don't have any money. So if you're going to deal with them, you're going to have to settle for a man not making much money. So he wanted black women to just accept that. That's why he had such a grudge against black women with education, because they usually make more money, you know? And he didn't want you to have confidence. He didn't want you to have goals and dreams and ambition. He wanted you to be happy to get the scraps.
Oh my God. Because having money and goals and ambition would mean that he can't control you anymore. He can't demean you. He can't do a lot of underhanded things that he would have if you don't have anything to depend on, if you don't have opportunity. And when he did the whole thing with the winter is coming, that man was praying for women's downfall when it came to like the OnlyFans, the women that that have that platform and all that. Like he was waiting for that. He was like, "What are you gonna do now? OnlyFans is gonna shut down." Like he was just like literally laughing hysterically. It's like, damn. Like,
talk up just a little bit.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. So when he did that with the whole winter is coming, it's like, whoa. Like it's like he couldn't wait for that day to come. It's not even about the profession. He just hates when women have opportunity because he can no longer abuse, if I can say the word. He could no longer do a lot of unethical or illegal things that he could have. So it's just like, oh my God, it's just so sick to my stomach. The things that he would do, the things that he would say to black women and make them feel like they're nothing. That they're just average. It's just everything to make them feel so low and ridiculed. And what a lot of people don't realize is that the girl that he claimed was average at best, she ended up getting stalked.
Oh my God.
She ended up getting stalked at her place of work, and she ended up having to have the police in front of her place of work so they can just leave her the heck alone. He caused all of that. And yet and then some of the black women, I could say the pygmies and the mammies, they were cheering him on when he said that, oh, she was average at best. Like, some of them was like, oh, well, it ain't like he was lying, or like it was all funny, like it was all giggles. Let that happen to you, and you end up getting stalked, and you end up being the bear of all of that abuse. It's nasty.
Here's the thing. The whole winter is coming. Kevin was one of those black men who just he wants the black man to feel powerful. The only thing he can control or wants to control is the black woman, because he doesn't control anything else. So that's why he needs us to be on our hands and knees begging and praying for the black man, even if he makes only $40,000, just be grateful. The thing is so weird because most black women are the only women who deal with broke ass black men. Thousands of black women are paying the bills of black men that they live with. They give him a place to stay. He has different children by multiple women, and black women still deal with him. Nobody else has dealt with the black man at his lowest state other than black women. In fact, that's why everything is a mess, because black women keep sleeping with these low-level ass black men. So I find it weird, and black women have been begging black men to change. So it's sort of weird when they act like black women are the enemy when black women are the main ones begging for dusty black men. Also, the whole thing about against women with goals and education, Kevin said things that we have said before. Having an education does not make you a wifey material. It's about, yes, can you cook? Can you take care of a home? Can you take care of children? Are you an affectionate woman? I don't believe that just because you have a PhD, that means that you should be wiped up. Men don't look at that. So he didn't lie about that. The thing is that he just wanted women to bow down, beg, you ain't nothing. Who do you think you are to have this PhD and this master's? Who do you think you are because you accomplished that? You ain't all that. It was like he was jealous of these type of women.
Yes. And he screens his calls, allegedly. He would screen his calls. He would, I don't know how he does it, but he makes sure that when he goes live and he speaks to that woman, he makes sure that these females are the low-hanging fruit. He makes sure to do that. I just know it. He makes sure, because he couldn't handle a woman that actually knows her self-worth, even if she has a PhD. Like, some of them, they may have very respectable careers and they may call in, but those, it's like he screens them because he wants to push out he wanted to push out a narrative. He wanted to push it out nationally and all. So it's just it's so unsettling to see that, and for him to, now he's no longer here, it's just like, wow. Like, not to say that we would wish that. I know I wouldn't, but it's like, they should look at it, women should look at it as a lesson, and to know yourself, love yourself, don't seek anybody's approval, and you are celebrated elsewhere. You just have to allow yourself to have options. And I feel like a lot of these women that call into the show, they don't believe in expanding their options. They only want to stay loyal to a certain group of men. But time and time again, they are showing you, especially the ones that are represented in the manosphere, they don't respect you, and stop being race loyal to them. Expand your options, and you wouldn't have to go through all this humiliation.
Yeah. When those women would call in and come on camera, it's like the humiliation. My thing is, if a woman needs a makeover, you could tell her that without making fun of her. Because we know that men are visual. Some women, if you want to catch the eye of a man, you're going to have to do something with yourself. But you can say that to a woman without tearing her apart in front of everybody. I remember when he called a woman a bitch out the blue. It was so horrible. This is one of his older videos. He didn't like women to talk. Like, he would cut them off, and she just didn't agree with him, and he called her a bitch. And I said, fuck this motherfucker. I said, how dare he speak to this woman like that? He was nasty to her. He called an attitude, and then he said, bitch, get off my line. She didn't curse at him. And that's how you speak to. It's like they want, again, they want the soft, friendly black woman, but you talking to me for filth, and then you get upset if I catch an attitude. They just want you to take the abuse. They don't create an environment for black women to be soft and feminine. They want a princess, but yet you don't treat us like a princess. Where's the compliments towards the little girls and making them feel like a princess and lifting their self-esteem? But a lot of black men don't even like children. You know, they're upset with the results they got from their failure to create an environment for soft feminine women. The white man did what he was supposed to do for the white man, and now they're upset and they use these women to put them against us. Oh, you see, you need to be like her. See how she's happy? I would be happy too if my man made the world worship me and that I had servants throughout history and that I'm on all the TVs and magazine covers as beauty and my man pays my bills and builds the world for me and our children. I would be pretty happy a little bit too. Maybe if you would have done that, you would have a different group of women.
Exactly. Exactly. There would be no gender war. Like, people wouldn't be in the internet. There would be no division or anything. But they created all of that, and they expect us to put up with all this abuse just because he has a pulse or he has something else, and he's considered high value only because of those things. No, it should be about your character. It should be about your empathy, accountability, to name a few. So this is, man, I just want this to be like a breakthrough for Black women to just love themselves and to realize that there is a universe. There are opportunities out there. Don't settle because you want a certain type of look of babies or something. Like, you have to think beyond that.
Yes. I feel like if Black men want such happy, they want Black women to walk around with smiles all day long and be cheery. It's like, well, they're not. Why don't you act like nice men? Compliment some Black women. Spend some money on gifts for Black women. Pamper Black women so that they can like you. We walk around knowing that a lot of you don't like us. So that's why we can't give you what you want. Be nicer, be more manly, be more affectionate. I mean, I do have some Black men that's nice when I go outside, but the collective, y'all created this. And now you don't like how you see your daughters, how they turned out, because you did not nurture your daughters. Y'all left your daughters. You were the first example that we could not depend on your asses at large. Y'all need to fix it. It's y'all, not the Black woman. Okay? So is there anything what did you feel that Kevin Samuels promoted Black love?
No, he did not. No, he promoted division. He never promoted Black love. It's just a simple fact that our community, because we didn't have we come from dysfunctional households, especially fatherless homes. I feel like his image, his aesthetic, wearing the suit, speaking eloquently, and talking to women, however he talks to him, it made it look like he's promoting Black love instead of listening to the message. Because anybody can speak well, anybody can put up an appearance and all of that, but you have to use discernment. You have to really question the things that he's saying, and have multiple and speak to people that.
Hold on real quick. Hold on. Ricardo Rodriguez, your little Puerto Rican ass talking all that shit in the chat. Why don't you call up on my phone line, bitch? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I just feel like because he speaks so well, and because he speaks to women, and he has this aesthetic going on, it made it give the appearance that he is promoting Black love, but he's really not. And I feel like the community needs to know how to differentiate trauma and healthy advice. Like, they need to know how, because talking down on women and expecting it to make it look like, oh, it's tough love or quote unquote, it's not. That's abuse. So I feel like they just really need to just look outside of all of that and really listen to the message. And if it doesn't sit right with you, then your intuition is telling you that it's not.
So what do you feel his legacy is? Does he even have a legacy?
Oh, God. As much as I don't want to really speak ill of the deceased, I feel like his legacy it's really just about him abusing Black women, but abusing the community. His legacy was about division, and speak ill of him, I had to be honest, because now it's, what have you done for us to uplift us, to make us feel proud of our accomplishments? Literally nothing. Everything that you put out is documented that you don't care about us, don't care about our plight. The slapping sound effects, putting us in a fictitious beauty scale, telling us that we're going to die alone. All those things, all those examples show that you were just tormenting the community. Sorry, it is what it is.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Not a problem. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you for having me.
You know, Ricardo Rodriguez, how do you feel about so many black men coming into your community, fucking your Puerto Rican women, and leaving them with half black babies? How do you feel about that, Ricardo? Do you care about that? How do you feel knowing that a lot of the black men you're defending can't stand you because of your curly hair and lighter skin? You know they can't stand you, right? A number of them. And that they would fuck you in prison. And that they love, uplifting your women and leaving them with half black babies and not taking care of the kids. How do you feel about that? Okay. So I have some of my notes. I'm going to call someone back. And why are you trying to pick on women, Ricardo? You know that's a sign of gayness. You can't pick on men your own size? Huh? You want to come up in here trying to challenge women like the gay motherfucker that you are? No offense to gay people. But yeah, a lot of the men, y'all defend Kevin what he said, toxic towards women, but I don't see you repeating what he said about that penis size. If he said if your penis don't measure up, who are you to be making requests? That was one of the best damn videos that Kevin ever did when he told that man you're broke, you're not in shape, and your dick ain't big. So who are you to ask for something? Like I said, y'all men better be happy that we're nice to y'all. For real. Because like I said, we could destroy you. If we started rejecting you based on penis size, you would throw a little fit. And that's what this is about too. That's why men like Kevin Samuels, you want it to be like the Handmaid's Tale. You want us to just bow down, take what we can get and not complain. You want us to be happy with a little 3-inch penis. I don't think so. A little 3-inch. Y'all always talking about women just want money and to be provided for. We also want good sex with our man. Did you know that? Oh, I forgot. You don't think that's a requirement because you just want to get off and do what you want to us. You want us to be your slaves. Some of you out here. You think we don't know? Don't want nothing. Don't want him to provide. And you damn right, Ricardo. I said, buy us something. Because that's what men do for their women. Okay? Yeah, we want some gifts. We want to be pampered. We want to feel like your baby, your princess, your queen. If some of you men was acting right, you would have better women. Did you know that? That's what's wrong with some of y'all. Y'all men is going against your own selves. Listening to men telling you not to do nothing for women. I mean, y'all might as well be gay. Some of you. Y'all don't even like women. I don't even know why y'all trying to sleep with us. You don't even like us. Y'all got a hatred in your heart. You don't want to be a man. You mad. You mad at the pressure to man the fuck up and do what you need to do. Kevin Samuels did say some things to men, but I don't see y'all repeating that. Y'all want to stay repeating what he said bad about women. Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
This is Cerebral.
Yeah, I know. I spoke to you last week about this.
How are you? This is the aftermath. I have a question. If that woman were black who he was last with, Do you think he would have slept with her if she was the same exact height and weight?
What, of a black woman?
Yeah, if that lady he was with, if she was the same size and weight as her, do you think he would have slept with her if she were black?
No, because black men are racist. But you know what? But I'm going to tell you something. Supposedly, there is a male name that's attached to the supposed female, and supposedly it's a transgender male. That's what I'm hearing. Or that's what I'm hearing, supposedly.
I don't think, hold on, let me put her picture. Honestly, I don't think it's a transsexual. I'm a transgender. I think it's a woman.
I don't know. They did a search on it. I was on a live a few days, like 2 days ago, and they did a search on it, and that is there's a male name that's attached to the supposed woman with the same last name. So I don't know. I'm not saying it's true, but that's what's been circulating. So I don't know. Just putting it out there.
Okay, so tell us, did you like Kevin Samuels? Did you dislike him? Of course, I believe you said you disliked him. Did you learn anything from him? Did he promote Black love? And what is his legacy?
I mean, number one, his legacy is the typical black man legacy. So, which is, leaving a path of destruction, being broke, not taking care of children, disrespecting their women. That's the legacy, the typical black man legacy. I mean, did he promote black love? He promoted struggle love for black women. That's what he promoted. And what's the next question?
What do you feel his legacy is? I think you answered that. So.
Mm-hmm. The typical black, the typical black man legacy. Everybody knows what that is.
Do you think there's gonna be a lot of black men that's clamoring to take his place?
I really, really hope so. I really hope so because I'm just happy that the world is watching and seeing who black men truly are. Because this is actually good for our image, and I don't think it's actually good.
There were a lot of people. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. A lot of people are going to see who black men really are, and a lot of things are going to start happening to them. Trust me, it's already have.
David Carroll, Nature Boy, Kevin Samuels, the guy that shot up the people on the subway. There will be more. One of the biggest things that's problematic is that, listen, I'm not against giving people realistic advice. Men are visual. Most black men don't have any money. You need to man up. He said a few things to men, but he mostly dogged the shit out of the black women that called. I don't like how he didn't give people hope that they could find love at any age. I mean, there's someone out there for everyone. And I don't think, I'm going to save this for a different time, but I don't think it's unrealistic to want a man who has his shit together. I mean, you don't know a man, somebody that you might think is not cute, somebody else might think is cute,
Well, you have to understand, that's kind of a part of the black male worshiping culture is just manipulating and gaslighting, because you have to understand black men can do this because black women collectively continue to listen to them. That's why they're able to do stuff like this. It's almost with the situation when Dr. Umar had that ridiculous speech 4 weeks ago. Ridiculous speech.
What did he say?
Trust me. I don't want to change the topic, but it's just no different. You know what I'm saying? This is a part of the manipulation. And like I said, once black women just kind of snap out of this and start to stop listening to black men, They really have to stop listening to black men. They have no power. They have no social status. Listen, they don't even control their own existence. White men control their existence. So I still don't get why. I still don't get it. I don't get it. I'm trying to get it, but I don't get it.
You know, men like Kevin Samuels and his followers, they're trying to threaten black women in a way like, this is it, this is who we are, you take it or leave it. The thing is that I'm telling them, you don't even have to just date black men. You don't have to just accept what they say. Go date other races of men who have what you're looking for. Because they know that the worshiping black women will say, okay, well, I mean, I see it on shows when they'll say, I want a man making 60,000, 80,000. Okay, well, I guess I can compromise. I guess I can pay some of his bills. Well, I guess I'm being unrealistic. No, you're not. There are men who are not black who have what you're looking for. Okay, you do not have to settle. And saying settle is like a curse word to them because, yes, some women do end up settling. And again, the most real thing Kevin said was that the average black man makes $40,000. What he's trying to say, this is what it is. You're going to either deal with us being broke or you're not. And I mean, that is real. And that's why I say date other races of men.
Number one, I'm sorry to cut you off, but
Go ahead.
You have to understand what's average for black men is an average for other races of men is completely different. Okay? What's an achievement to black men is average to non-black men. Okay? So, you know what I'm saying? And I meet men of all races that are, I look younger than my age. So I meet guys that are in their 20s and they're engineers. Some of them are attorneys and stuff like that. So, you know, they're living on their own. So that's for black men because they're dumb. They're idiots. They don't, I mean, they're stupid. They're the weakest male group on the face of the planet. They can't do basic stuff that every other group of men can do. Just basic shit they can't do. So what does that say?
Thank you.
For them to even be in the home with their children, that's a big thing.
You're not telling a lie. But according to them, you know, this is our fault. It's always the black woman's fault. It's crazy. They say we destroy things, but then when women like me say, let's fix all of this by simply choosing better men.
Well, number one, no one really believes that. You got to understand that no one believes that. The data doesn't show anything like that. The data doesn't show that. All these white men institutions are not investing in black women just because they're doing it because they can get a return out of it. I mean, they have their own agenda too, but there's a reason for that. It's because they can get a return on their investment. So, like I said, the data doesn't show what they're saying. So, and everybody knows that, and anybody that doesn't know that is because they're not smart, obviously. You know what I'm saying? But we are obviously not the problem. And like I said, I hope there's more black men that continue to show the world who they really are. I really do. Because you see, they're going to create an environment where black women are not going to want them here and white men are not going to want them here. And if black women decide they don't want black men here anymore and we start letting white men know that, they're not going to be here anymore. It's really, really that simple. That's what's going to happen eventually.
You know, a lot of popular news outlets, white-owned ones, they didn't even know who Kevin Samuels was until he died. So they're just, like you said, they're discovering him now and they're watching his videos. And I think there was an article not long ago where they said that the manosphere was toxic. I believe somebody said the FBI wasn't.
What? Well, that's wrong. The FBI and the CIA knew who Kevin Samuels was because they've been investigating him. Because you got to understand, him and the black manosphere, they're an anti-black woman group. their group is linked to a lot of recent murders that a lot of black men have been making. And a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, a lot of angry men who want revenge on women, who have small penises, who have no sex life, socially awkward, are following Kevin. You know. Also,
It's
some
not
of
really that. It's just that. It's not really that. It's just that black men want us to accept crumbs and give us nothing, and that's what it is.
some of you probably are looking at the screen. I have this picture of Beyonce because Kevin actually said that Beyonce was like a 6 or a 7. And I just found this to be amazing. This is the beautiful Beyonce in incredible shape. Everything they swear to God. She's, when they talk about black women and being perfect and, looking great, clear skin, her hair is long. She has a good body. And he would rate, like this woman that he was last with, she's not a Beyonce. She's not ugly. She's very beautiful. But, this is who he was trying to set as Beyonce wasn't even good enough to this man. This woman has an incredible shape. She's very beautiful. They have unrealistic standards for a lot of black women. They really do.
Because they don't like us because we're black. That's just really what it is. And then, I don't understand why black women don't seem to get that.
I realized that a few months ago. It has nothing to do with how beautiful you are, how nice you are, how good you are in bed, if you can cook. You can be completely the opposite and they still will dog you out or always compare you to somebody else and try to find any flaw they can.
Listen. I gotta tell you, all right, this has been an historical situation. Black men's behavior has never changed. They were selling black women and girls to European men. That's what they were doing in the first place. So, and this is something that has been going on throughout history. This divestment thing is not new. Okay, there's always been a small group of black women and 1 or 2 black men that have always told the truth about black men. There's books that's written in the 1800s that will tell you everything that we're dealing with now. Will tell you how black men are in the 1800s. It's been documented many, many times. Okay, so like they say in the Constitution, the black man is 1/3 of the man, right? I don't think they were lying about that.
There's a lot that's said that we skip over historically. They didn't view black, they used to call him a boy. And it wasn't because they're just trying to be assholes. They didn't view him as a man because he wasn't doing things that a man would do. Just letting your woman.
I think I've always said this. Listen, I've always said this. White men have always warned us about black men. Because I'm still trying to figure out what have we heard from white men, the supposed stereotypes that is not true about black men. Because I would like to hear it. There's not one stereotype about black men that is a lie. Not one. And this has been documented throughout generations and history. Just in the last 400 years, everything, the same behavior, the same situation, the same thing. Nothing has changed. And this is on a global scale. This is not just the United States situation. This is wherever these men are, it's the same behavior. So
Thank
something
you.
is obviously wrong with these men, period.
And they didn't understand. I'm sorry. They didn't understand. A white man would not let his beautiful woman be enslaved under another man for that fucking long. They would fight, and they have fought. That's why they call them a boy, because they don't understand what kind of man is going to let me do this for this long and not stand up for these beautiful women.
are doing it. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And they're over there and they took the African women from them, and they're online saying that because they're lazy and they're dumb. And they went over there and took their women, took their land and all that other shit. So it is what it is.
Yep. Now in Africa, they're taking over in Africa. So it's going to be what it's going to be, the black man's fate, you know, and he's losing his only true ally. As much as they talk about this so-called gender war, the black woman is still his only ally, because you got a lot of them still mammying for the black man. And he keeps pushing him.
Well, not this one over here.
Not me either.
Not this
But
one.
you know what? The more the black woman begs for his love, the more he pushes her away. So, is there anything else you would like to say about the aftermath of Kevin Samuels' death?
No, not really. I just hope I'm just hoping that the rest, at least 70% more of them, you know, go and be with him. You know, whether they become a hashtag, whether they get poisoned by a preference, whether they get sliced and diced by a preference. You know, as long as you know it has nothing to do with us, you know, or we're not involved. I hope Derek Chauvin gets his appeal. We're definitely going to need a leader like him and a protector like him out here. And that's basically it.
All right. So thank you so much for your call.
No problem.
All right. Bye. Okay, I'm calling someone back from, I believe, Chicago. Okay, that was a 312 number I was calling back. So the phone line is open. Anybody else want to share their opinion about the passing of Kevin Samuels and answer these questions that's on the screen? My opinion, if she were black, would he? I don't think so. Even if she, you know, if the black woman is beautiful, if she has the same body, because black women who had her size and smaller than her, he called overweight. You know, and racist black men's standards all of a sudden change when it's a black woman. You know, they examine you a little bit more closely. Your hair, your face, your lashes, your body, everything. You know, you can look better than her and they still want to critique you to death. That's why I had this Beyonce picture, because he had the nerve to say that Beyonce was like a 7 or 8. It was crazy. Hello? Hello. I can't hear you. I'm not sure if I'm on speaker or not, but I need you to speak up in the phone.
Oh, okay. Is this better?
Yes. Hello.
Okay, great. Thanks for receiving my call. To answer your questions, I'm gonna go through them really quickly because I know other people want to call. Why did I like him? Well, I did not like him. What did I dislike about him? Well, he's just spewing the same old trash that has been around online and in our community for years, decades. But what I did learn from him is that it just gives me confirmation on what I kind of already thought, but didn't have that confirmation that it doesn't matter what you do. These men out here, especially black men, do not like us. I had an encounter years ago online where I met this black man. He's seemed like a great catch. We met online, trying to do the online dating. We didn't go out on dates or anything, just trying to start to get to meet somebody. I'm a very attractive person. Not to phone home or porn or sound any, but I'm pretty conventionally attractive. Like I get compliments all the time. Strength, it doesn't matter if you're young, old, black, white, old, kid, baby. Today I got a little boy blew a kiss at me. Like it's just I'm just like attractive. So it's not an attractive thing. This man, I could not understand why he was avoiding a connection. He did not want a connection. So something told me to go back online and make a catfish account of a white woman. What I did, I went online and I found the most homeliest looking white woman that I could find. On the profile, I had her with, working a minimum wage job, had 4 kids. All I had to do was look at his profile. Didn't message him in. He messaged me right back.
Okay, so if some of you don't hear her, what she said is that she's very attractive. She gets compliments daily from people about how pretty she is. And there was a black man who didn't want to connect with her. So she set up a fake profile of a homely white woman with multiple children. And she reached out to him under that profile. And then he said he reached out back to her. So I mean, were you talking to this man? Were y'all dating or,
Yes, Cerebral, I stood him up so many times because of course, I couldn't meet him in person because I'm not white. But he was saying what such a great person I was.
Hold on. Did he approach you though? Did he ask you for your phone number?
Yes.
So that makes it kind of strange. He hollered at you, but then he avoided you.
Right. He hollered at me with the intentions of just treating me like the typical, like when I did this experiment, setting my profile up as a white woman, I saw a whole other side of him and other men, black men. I'm telling you, Cerebral, it was like crazy. I had black men telling me that they weren't black, that they were biracial, that their daddies was white.
Are you serious?
This guy here I'm so serious, Cerebral. This guy, he contacted me on my profile. Now, with my profile, I had to send him countless pictures to make sure I was actually me. He thought I was catfishing him first with my very own pictures because it was just like, no way that I'm single and online to him. Oh, that ain't you. Oh, you don't work that job. Oh, you ain't got yourself together. So I had to constantly prove myself to him, constantly. And it seemed like he did not want to go things any further. If I was ready to just flat out just bang it open for him, he would have took it, of course. I really wanted a connection.
When don't chase after men like that. Let him go. And he's happy. Black men like him are happy to have the scraps of black women. They really think they be getting something. They be getting the scraps. Their self-esteem is so low that they just need something white. Also, be quiet, Kevin, in this chat. I'm not a baby mama. I don't even have children. And you can come and smell it if you want to, and the other women in here. You really need to be quiet.
Right. But Cerebral, I'm telling you this story because it's just with Kevin Samuels rising the way he did, it just made me think back to, you know what? These men have been thinking about this. This outside of the content that so many of you ladies are putting together is opening our eyes for a long time. Somebody like myself really thought it was me. I'm striving for perfection. We're striving to get that black girl magic when you're working out. You're killing yourself in the gym. You're sweating, growing your hair out. You're not, you're thinking it's you. But it took me to get a white woman's profile. And then I knew, like, wow, this guy wouldn't even give a chance to, even build anything. But when I was this homely white woman with 4 illegitimate children, he was ready to take us all. If you need anything, call me. I mean, I had this man schedule and everything. If I had a bad heart, if I had like ill intentions, I could have really scammed him, you know? But I did not. I just had to see for myself that, wow, this guy, there's nothing wrong with me. It's really him. It's just what they want. He couldn't be honest and just say, hey, I'm holding out for a white woman, anyone, any kind, any type of situation she's in, I'm gonna come in and save her. But your black self, no ma'am.
Their self-esteem is actually tragic. They'll flip it and try to make it sound like the black woman has a self-esteem issue. Baby, your self-esteem issues don't even compare to me. They need major healing and help.
They do. So Reva, when I tell you, just go online as a white woman, you will see they will not question anything you do, anything you say. They won't question if your profile's fake or not. They're willing to send you money.
I haven't had any.
They're disowning their blackness.
I don't really have issues attracting black men online, but I haven't seen them ready to throw money. I mean, I have heard of them acting like that for white women, you know, even in middle school.
But especially if, see, like you're cerebral, especially if you're a beautiful black woman, he can't believe it. Like you have to jump through hoops to see, like, to prove yourself. And Kevin Samuels just kind of solidified that. He put it in stone for me. I know that's the deal now. You know, did he promote black love? No, he did not. If anything, I think his profile, if anything, what's going on?
All right, there's some noise.
No, but the thing is, he did not promote black love. He didn't. You know, and he just wanted to just bring systems down a peg for those guys who did not want to come up with the standard. You know, that's all that was.
Okay.
You know, what was his legacy? He had none. And I'm just kind of glad. I'm just hoping this is over with.
Oh, trust me, it will not be. I have been on YouTube for 12 years. Kevin is not the first, and he will not be the last. But Kevin Samuels, people need to stop thinking he invented everything. There have been plenty of black women trying to help black women for years level up. And, you know, we talk about makeovers, healing in the inside. Men are visual. A lot of black women have said this, but we are not as cruel as him. So, but there'll be another wannabe Kevin Samuels probably next month. So.
Yeah, well, but that's all he did. He just kind of solidified to me that they don't really want you. I mean, a lot of they tolerate us. If we can elevate him, which a lot of them do, they love that who are, you know, got something going for herself. Of course, good ladies, they want a good woman to catapult whatever they want. They want to come up off of you, but God forbid if you come up off of him. Oh, no.
Okay, I kind of can't hear you, but Tiffany in the chat says her advice to you is to stop caring about what they like. Are you open to dating men of other races?
Yes, I am. And this one thing I learned is that when men of other races used to approach me, I never gave them the time of day. Never. And that's one of the biggest regrets I've had, because a lot of those men that I go back and, you know, keep contact with them and whatnot, these guys are not married.
Yeah.
You know, these guys, they don't play the game that black men play. You know, if they're approaching you, if a man of another race is approaching you out the center, he's taking that chance to step out. More than likely, he's very serious about his decision. You know, he's very serious. He's not going to just play around, and especially in this society, he's not going to just, I'm just going to go hordes of black women. If he wants you, he's going to go for you. And I wish I knew that before, but now
it's not too late. It's not too late.
Yes.
All right. So thank you so much.
Right.
All
You're
right.
welcome. Thank you for letting me call.
All right. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
You can call Kevin Samuels the Godfather, Chief. I'm the Godmother. How about that? I bet a lot of you men still haven't learned how to court a woman, how to wash your genital areas properly, how to dress right. Hello?
Hello?
Hi, this is Cerebral.
Hi. Oh, did I get through?
Yes, hello from Chicago.
Yes, yes. I saw your show. This is the first time I've ever called in.
Okay.
And I am a subscriber to you. I love your work. I absolutely do.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I just felt moved to say something about the recently departed Mr. Samuel. I don't know. I guess I'll go from the heart. What is more important than the heart of a Black woman? In terms of Mr. Samuel, I just feel like he was destructive, divisive, and to me, that makes him into a villain, at least for Black women. So when it comes to the point in the story that the villain is no longer among us, it feels much more like a relief to speak of him in a past tense. That's how I look at it. He has called us unattractive. He has made the worst comments ever towards Black women and our children. He's done nothing but promote violence. Look at the femicide rate. All of this was from Mr. Samuels. This is what this man promoted. This is his legacy. So when I hear Black men say, why y'all still talking about him, man? He did, man. Because the exact same way that you sit back and you listen to Tupac's music, you listen to Biggie's music, you listen to Michael Jackson's music, the reason you're listening to their music is because that is their legacy. That is what they left behind. And you cannot take away from the fact that Kevin Samuel's legacy was harmful to Black women, emotionally and spiritually. So, you know, I just don't understand why Black men don't understand that right now, this is probably for Black women, this is a time to heal. The boogeyman is gone. That's who he was. This is our time to heal. This is our time to continue to better ourselves, keep getting our education, keep getting the money, because that's what we're doing.
Well,
and we're able to see Black men for who they are in terms of their support behind this monster.
give me 1 second. Someone in the chat, the truth, said, when did he say all Black women were unattractive? He didn't say we were all unattractive, but he did say a lot of Black women do not have face symmetry, that the global beauty scale of face symmetry, Black women don't have it, which is a bunch of bullshit because my face is symmetrical. But, you know, that's what he said. It is recorded. You can find it right here on YouTube of him insulting Black women's looks globally about the face symmetry thing, you know.
And that comment encompasses all Black women. I mean, I don't understand how that's so hard for whoever who said that, for you to understand that.
And we know that's a bunch of bullshit because I do not feel unattractive. I get attention from all races of men. So, Kevin, you didn't win, baby. You're not going to make me feel bad and all this other stuff, honey. You know, that's for low self-esteem women that's begging for their validation.
Yes. Yes. And I always tell my sisters, my Black sisters, please stop looking at these Black men for validation. They don't even like themselves. They don't love themselves. They're the only species I know that will have a child or children and walk away from them like they don't even matter. That's even worse than an animal, because an animal wouldn't even do that. When men of other races look at us, trust me, they want us. They'll step to us and they'll give us the best relationships, marriage, children, whatever you want at faster rates. Every friend that I know who's a sister who has a marriage is because he's either white or he's Latino, he's other. And they're happy. There's no struggle love. There's no 50-50. There's none of that. So I just say this is the time for Black women to heal, progress, and open your horizon. Look at other races, because if you stay in the dire straits that, Black America is in, you'll never be happy. Trust me, you are beautiful. Don't fall under that fallacy that Black men have told you you are not wanted, you're not beautiful, you're not worthy. Trust me, there are men who believe that we are, and they treat us like the queens that we are. Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
So thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. And Black women who get attention from men, we know what it is. We have never been listening to this bullshit Black men be talking about.
Right.
Please.
Right.
So.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Call from
Jay.
To accept, press 1.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, Jay.
Mr. White. How's it going? Am I all right?
Yes.
Wasn't expecting that fast. All right. Well, I have some things to say about Kevin Samuels. And the last caller, she said a lot of asinine stuff, and it was kind of ironic to me that she talked about Black men having self-hate, and she went on this diatribe about all these negative things about Black men. And I think what most people have a problem with when it comes to Kevin Samuels is that he did to Black women what Black women have been doing to Black men for years.
Really?
Everything you just said about Black, yes.
We've never been expressing ourselves like we do now. This is more recent with Black women speaking up. Don't give me that Ricky Lake bullshit and what's that damn name? Phil Donahue type of shit.
Okay, so nothing Black women has ever said counted. So all these same narratives you guys have about Black men not being good fathers, Black men being abusive, all of these narratives that all of you guys share, that's all heard growing up.
But is that a lie, though? Do most of you take care of your kids at large, the collective?
Yes.
No, y'all don't.
Yes. Yes, we do.
No, y'all don't.
Yes, we do.
No, y'all don't.
Yes, we do.
No, y'all don't.
Yes, we do.
No, you don't.
Yes, we do. You see what happens? The narrative of Black America has been that the men just up and leave for no reason.
Hold on. Let me say this. Some of you might give a little bit as far as money, but y'all are not there emotionally for a lot of your children.
Most. You see, it's not, as a man, you're not there to nurture your children. You're not there to be an emotion. You're there to protect her and provide.
We need you emotionally too.
Because you need okay, time out. Let me calm down. Listen. What you're saying about Black men, all these negative stereotypes you're saying about Black men, and you wholeheartedly believe deep down in your soul, is the same thing Black men believe and Kevin Samuels expressed. You see, this is your first time hearing us say anything that we think about you, and you can't handle it.
Hold on. First of all, let me be clear. Don't lump me in with other women. Don't lump me in with other women, because I said I agreed. I agreed with some of what he said. I already said that. He ain't saying nothing that I didn't know.
Okay, and so does every other Black woman. So we agree with some of the stuff he said.
Okay. I'm going to let you talk, and then I got some questions for you. Go ahead.
No. Well, I've already pretty much said what I need to say. Kevin Samuels said things that most Black men have been feeling and believing. And we don't.
Well, give me some examples. Give me some examples of something he said that Black men feel.
Like, for example, the weight. Black men have always had an issue with Black women's weight.
Y'all are fat too, though. You know how rare it is for me to see a Black man in shape? Y'all look horrible out here. Y'all hair look fucked up. You got tattoos. You got them raggedy beards. You sag your pants. Y'all look a hot ass mess, and I've been saying it. Y'all look just as bad as these women out here.
But then you sound like Kevin Samuels, the female version. I mean, don't every black woman sound like Kevin Samuels, the female version?
I've been out before him, so I can't sound like him.
Well, he sounds like you. How about that?
I never said that some black women don't look a hot ass mess. I've promoted getting a makeover, but I see some black women that look a mess, but I see black men every day. I said it a few months ago. I said, damn, what happened to y'all? Y'all used to have a Caesar cut. Y'all used to be clean looking. Now y'all look dirty. Y'all be looking dirty out here.
And do you think black men, let me ask you a question. If you were to die, no, knock on wood, I hope that never happens. I'm not wishing ill on you. Do you think black men, because you did that, would cheer your death?
Hell yeah, they would.
Hell no, they wouldn't. There's been plenty of black women who pretty much dogged black men, ran our name through the mud, and some of them have died, and you didn't hear a peep from us.
I have had men wish death on me in the past. I'm a lot nicer than what I used to be. I have calmed down because I realized I can't help a lot of black people as much as I want to. But listen, I'm all for accountability. I'm not saying you ain't got no fucked up women out here, but growing up, listen, my dad made good money. My dad was in the Nation of Islam, or so he kinda was. But he wasn't there for me like I needed him to be. And so many black people, men, boys and girls I met in school, they didn't even, I had some shock that I had the same fucking brother. That's when I knew we got a problem. You're shocked me and my brother have the same daddy? You know, I've heard of black boys who didn't know their father. I said in the past, women need to stop having kids by multiple men they don't even fucking know. The thing is, a lot of black men, they don't raise their kids. A lot of black men are giving black women HIV and other STDs. Black men don't go to the doctor. Black men are walking around sagging their jeans. Black men are the highest unemployed men in the country. Black men don't even make $50,000 on the average. Even Kevin Samuel said it. So let's stop acting like the shit that's being said ain't actually true.
Well, it's not true. Most men don't make $50,000 an hour.
Oh, please. That is not true. A lot, maybe for black men, a lot of men make over 50,000. I don't agree with that whatsoever. Maybe it depends on your location.
No, it doesn't.
Well, the men I know that ain't black got money.
Listen, can I finish my thing? If you go look at the stats, the government keeps track of all this. Now, we're talking about money that's on the books, taxable. I'm not talking about non-taxable. Money that's on the books, about 70% of Americans don't make over $50,000.
Okay.
Men and women.
I will research that before I say it's true or not. What I will say, if you're gonna find men who have money, they're typically not black.
Well, most black men have more money than black women. So
bring it on, water sniper.
That's
okay.
Right there, because black men out-earn black women in America right now. Now, I don't know your age demographic, because we could be arguing from two different generations. And I'm not gonna debate you on what happened during your generation. Right now, I'm talking about millennials in my generation.
I'm a millennial.
Right now, okay. Right now, the black men who are alive today, they're excellent fathers.
Oh, please. Well, I ain't gonna speak for all black men, but from what I've seen, from my experience, a lot of black men ain't shit as fathers. Y'all are a disgrace, in my opinion, at large.
Well, the truth is, when it comes to mothers and fathers, number one, first of all, black women, if you want that man to be a father, first of all, don't let him impregnate you until you guys are married. Because that's a woman's ultimate version of a commitment.
But you black men don't like marriage.
Who said that?
That's a fact.
Who said, nobody ever said black men don't. Black men are extremely traditional.
Y'all are the least married men in the whole damn country.
But more black men are married than black women.
Only 30% of you got married. And don't forget, y'all are marrying girls with white mamas who birth certificates say they black. Let's not forget that too. Y'all are not all marrying no black women, no fucking way.
You can't say black men don't want to get married when more of them are married than you.
But y'all are the least married. Y'all don't get married in high numbers.
Okay, listen. We don't get married in high numbers because most black women turn down proposals.
Okay. Okay.
Have you ever been proposed to?
No. I mean, I've had some say they love me, but I don't believe they really did.
That's not a proposal. Saying I love you is not a proposal. Have you ever had a man sit down, get you a ring, and say, I want to marry you, and say, after this date, we're engaged?
I never.
No.
Hold on, let me finish. The men I've dated weren't good enough to be my husband, so we broke it off. I did not want them, so the proposal never came because it didn't get far enough for that to happen. I have not met a man who was good enough to be the father of my children and to be someone I'm stuck to for life. There is, I won't go into detail, but there might be one. I ain't getting into that, but at large.
Please don't.
Okay.
Okay. That's you. I'm pretty sure most ladies, a lot of women do propose. Like, we're acting like black women are seeing zero proposals.
Some of them do, but at large, the story usually goes, y'all date a black woman for about a year or two. She ends up pregnant, becomes a baby mama, and the relationship lasts maybe another 3 years, or y'all break it off and she's a single mother. That's the typical story for black women.
Time out. You're telling me black men are breaking up the relationship?
The women and the men, because a lot of you cheat on the black woman, or it's a disaster. Black people, I said this before.
It don't matter. Okay.
We do things backwards. I can admit we do a lot of things backwards. Half the time y'all end up getting your girlfriends pregnant, and y'all relationship don't never last to go to marriage because y'all not even in love with those women half the time.
Okay, listen. First of all, if you're gonna say half and half, so half of the women break up with the baby daddy, and half the baby daddies leave, then you can't say black men are as a whole are leaving women. Because let's get one thing clear: if you have a child with a woman and she leaves you and takes the kids, that woman cannot turn around and say you abandoned her. She left, regardless of the reason. She left. She took the kids, regardless.
Okay.
80% of marriages in Black America are divorces are initiated by women.
Yeah, because you black men be cheating all the time. Even when you get married, y'all will cheat on the wedding night, and y'all beat up black women. Y'all are a mess at large. Okay.
Black men beat up. Well, first of all, most come on, bro. Most violence when it comes. You talked to a police officer? I
grew up seeing domestic violence.
When it comes to domestic violence, either most domestic violence cases in America are go unreported of all races.
Y'all, you can't deny that y'all have a huge cheating problem. You cheat on your women like it ain't shit.
Well, that's not our problem if they're getting cheated on.
It's not?
You can't keep them happy.
Oh, really?
No, it's not.
Oh, so hold on. No. Stop. First of all, I've said it before. You can do anything, and don't call me bruh again, I'm a woman. We can do anything right, and you still will cheat. We can be sucking it. We can be cooking. We can be doing everything, cleaning, catering to you. A man gonna do what he want to do. My mama taught me that, and it's true. There ain't nothing I can do to stop you from cheating. Not a damn thing. You gonna do what you want to do. You gonna do what you want to do.
A man doesn't cheat on a woman that's making him happy. So
that's not true. That's not true. Y'all, if you see that hold on, stop talking. I grew up hearing, ain't no pussy like new pussy. That's what I grew up hearing. Ain't no pussy like new pussy. I don't give a fuck what we do right. If you see an attractive woman like on this screen and your penis get hard and you want to hit it, there ain't nothing I can do to stop you to pursue that woman. You gonna try to hit it regardless if I'm good to you or not. You ain't fooling me. I know about men. So you can stop with the lies. Okay, I'm not trying to get too riled up. Tell me, what is Kevin Samuel's legacy?
His legacy is whatever men decided to be. That's his legacy. Because let's make one thing clear: women don't write history.
Oh, really? I don't agree with you on that. Also, okay, Lucy, I know the stats, but I'm not going up on all them pages pulling up stats. I said he was full of shit. I know the stats.
What stat is she referring to?
I'm not sure right now. But what I do know is that y'all, 70% out of wedlock. Only 29 to 30% of you, thank you, the woman who doesn't exist and the previous person who donated, I mean, let's stop the bullshit. You black men got some of the worst statistics out. Don't even include black women. Just period by yourselves. Stop lying. Y'all need to fix yourselves.
Number one, if you are first of all, number one, if you're a group of women who's having babies out of wedlock, that means you're an open lock. That's not the men. Men are gonna fuck whatever is available to get fucked. That means you're very available to get fucked with no type of
Yeah, and I'm telling black women to stop sleeping with y'all asses. So we gonna end this problem. We gonna stop sleeping with you.
But the same things too, because black women who have children with any other, because let's get one thing clear: there's over a million children sired in Black America, born in Black America, that's not registered to black men. So black women on average each year are having 1 million babies with other races of men. And those women are not married. So you're having the same results with other men when you sleep with them, where you're ending up single mothers.
I will research that, but I guarantee the men is probably in those children's lives more than you.
It doesn't matter if they're in children's lives or not.
Yes, it does matter.
The point is you don't require anything from a man before he impregnates you. Black, white, or
I agree that some women are like that, and women like me are telling them to stop. We're about
the some when it's most.
No.
Stop using that.
Most. Okay. And guess what? Women like me are telling black women to change and know our value and to stop putting up with the bullshit. And when we leave you black men in droves, which will end up happening because we're going to start choosing better men.
You can.
Yes, we can, baby. What makes you think that?
No, you can't.
Honey, I have plenty of men not black in my DMs, so you need to check yourself.
That's good for you, but you're not every woman.
That is true.
One thing clear: most men are not. Most men are not. How do I say this? Attracted by the Black American body type, which is extremely overweight. If a man's gonna date outside of his race, he's not gonna go get with the overweight.
Are you serious? I see plenty of humongous. I was just watching her today. There are humongous black women that got white men up here on YouTube. Fat.
There are.
Completely the stereotype.
I agree. There are, and this is where you use the word some because it's appropriate to use. There are some, but that some is not going to be the outcome for most. That's why to say that some is irrelevant. It's such a small number, it's irrelevant.
You know what I have to say to black men like you, though? It doesn't matter what you think. At the end of the day, I see white men, especially with black women who are bald-headed, with blonde hair, that's fat, that's short, that's tall. We're going to keep dating different races of men. So it doesn't matter how many of you try to bring up stats. This is who's choosing you. This who isn't. We don't care about that. We are doing the damn thing, and we're not going to stop. So it don't matter how much you try to bring up statistics because we still dating out, no matter what you say. So it doesn't matter.
Let me say this before I jump off. I actually hope more black women do date outside their race. I actually encourage it. I'm not the type of guy where I'm saying, oh, you gotta stay here. No, I encourage all of you guys to go date outside your race.
Okay.
I wish we could do a case study where we could see the results that come out of that shit. Because that's gonna be something. I would bet my bank account.
Well, believe me, I see plenty of beautiful black women getting wiped up weekly all over Instagram by men not black. Beautiful black women don't have issues attracting men. Okay?
Okay, beautiful women of all races. And everybody knows that's common sense. Even Kevin said it. Yeah, common sense. Women of 8, 9s, and 10s of any race doesn't have a problem transitioning anywhere.
Okay.
8, 9s, and 10s.
All right.
I see an 8, 9, and 10. I don't even typically date Asian women. I see an 8, 9, and 10 Asian girl. I'm going. She's an 8, 9, or a 10.
Okay.
So. But I'm gonna let you go. I'm not gonna eat you have a good show. I'm not gonna eat up all the time here.
Hold on for a second. Okay. Thank you so much. And I have a question for black men coming up next week, so you might want to call in. KVD80. First of all, you coward asshole. I challenged Kevin Samuels when he first got popular, bitch, and he blocked me off his channel. He knew who the fuck I was. So you need to be quiet. Look at you, homosexual. No offense to homosexuals, But you up here trying to talk junk to me like you ready to fight me as a man or something, calling us coward bees. Look at you. You probably expect me to get into the ring. You probably expect me to go into the ring with a man. I know your type, you little soft wussy. Hello?
Hey, sweet was Miss Sincere.
Hey, Miss Sincere.
Well, I'm late to the party, but I'm glad I'm here.
How are you?
I'm sorry, all of this, I'm doing good. All of this is just so funny to me. I mean, before I answer the questions, it's a couple things I gotta say before I answer the questions, okay? So, that last guy, Lord have mercy. The thing I want to ask him is, does he want women to like him? Because following men like Kevin Samuel, and I bet you he follows Fresh and Fit and listen to all these other clowns, that is the quickest way to get the women that you want. Because obviously you can't get, the women in the comment section, if he is single, which he probably is, or unmarried, they don't go to the women in the comment section to try to talk to them and date them. They want a certain type of women, but they don't understand, like, when they follow these knuckleheads, like, they're pushing women away. Like, women from these manosphere channels, we're learning to avoid men like that. We're learning to pick up the signs. We're learning to talk to points, and we're spreading it. So we avoid men like that. So at that point, that last caller, Kevin Samuels was his daddy, and he's upset he lost his daddy.
Girl, it's been shocking. I've actually seen a lot of black men in comment sections saying they felt like they lost their father. They've literally been admitting it.
They never even had their daddy in the real life. That's just they need to go be with men. That's what they need to go do. He needs the last caller. He need to go be with a man. That's what he needs to do. Because whoever's teaching him and trying to tell him whatever is not giving him good advice that's going to make women actually want to like him and be around him. And maybe he might get a pick-me, but the pick-me is only going to tolerate that for so long. Let me tell you something real quick about pick-me. Just real quick. The pick-me's that supported Kevin Samuel, they're single for a reason. They want the exact same men that hypergamous women want and women who raise their standards want. But they're not going to admit it. That's why they're single. It's plenty of men that's going after these pick-me's, but the pick-me's are rejecting the same type of men we're rejecting. For the exact same reasons. And yet these same women are underneath Kevin Samuel's videos and pages. I done got into an argument with a woman that said she was average at best, and she had 5 kids, and she was overweight, and she was co-signing all these men, and she tried to come for me, and I had to check her. But honestly, somebody needs to tell the last dude that was on his daddy, Kevin Samuels. He was there's videos of him in a BMW that was leaking, and he got kicked out of his apartment, meaning somebody rented the apartment, and he was living in an apartment that was rented by somebody else, and he was going from place to place to place to place to place.
I heard
somebody
that.
Laugh on that. Girl, it's a video. It's on TikTok. It's a video. It's on TikTok. So first of all, they taking advice from somebody who ain't got no assets, didn't have investment portfolio, didn't have a life insurance policy, didn't even have basic estate planning or a trust. He didn't have none of that. And he was knee deep in debt. Twice divorced, credit card, debit card issue. He had a BMW, but he couldn't afford the upkeep on the BMW. So, and his video was literally him in his BMW, and his BMW was leaking. And that's who that last knucklehead that was up here take his advice from. He's taking his advice from somebody who probably like him. That's not living the lifestyle. They preaching one thing, but they're not living the lifestyle. How you going to tell somebody else what they need to be doing right, maybe you need to be with a man because you like being around men. And you only see women for our anatomy. So maybe you would get satisfied by a man. And that's all I got to say. Because bottom line is, Kevin Samuels was a part of the LGBT community, but he was closeted. So,
well, you know what? When he said we can live without women and we can just be with the boys like in Roman times, I said, hell nah.
And that's another thing about Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels knew his audience. He knew his audience. The thing about Kevin Samuels, why I feel like some people think it was roots, some people think it was energy, some people divine feminine. I mean, I believe in God. I believe in, you reap what you sow, which is like the same thing as karma. And I think the reason why God allowed him to be taken out is because Kevin Samuels knew what he was doing. He knew what he was saying before about black men trying to correct black men was right, and he knew what he was doing was wrong. But because he wanted to make money and be successful, he sold out his people. He sold us out. And this is a pattern with black men. From slavery, Jim Crow, everything. Black men sell out their people. And you want to know how he sold us out? He sold us out, one, because he threw black women under the bus and did a lot of mental and emotional damage to a lot of black women. He sold us out, two, because he was not trying to help those men. The advice that he gives those men is keeping them stagnant. The advice he gives those men is making men angry to where they would want to hurt women. It's the same thing with Shahrazad Ali. The book that Shahrazad Ali put out and talking about disciplining women and hitting women, you know how many men read that book and felt like they had a right to hit the women? You know how many men that probably listen to Kevin Samuel and put their hands on women? Do you know how many men that probably listen to Precious Fit, Tommy Sotomayor, Kevin Samuels, Humphrey Adams, all these men up here, how many men have listened to them and felt justified doing harm to a woman?
A lot of them.
They heard because they had some sort of pent-up animosity. And as far as I'm concerned, and everybody in the comment section can mad, I'm glad he's dead. I'm glad he's gone. And the only thing that irks me is I don't think anybody should shame people who don't want to celebrate his death, and I don't think people want to shame anybody who does want to celebrate his death. Because at the end of the day, Kevin Samuels, from what I heard, mocked 3 dead black women. 3 dead black women. He did that in his life. And his followers weren't like, oh no, that's wrong. Don't do that. But all of a sudden, they have some sort of sense of a moral compass when it comes to something being done to them. But when it's being done to us, that moral compass just goes out the window. These men don't see us as people. They see us as toys. They see us as objects. They see us for sex. And they see us for reproduction. And they see us for what they can get out of us. They don't see us as people. If they can't get anything out of us, then they don't see us as people. And the worst thing about it is, when you ask one of these men, why do you love me? Or why do you love your mom? A lot of times they name stuff that you do for them. So basically, if I'm not doing those things for them and I'm no longer useful to you, you wouldn't be with me. Because I'm no use to you. And that's the way
they are narcissists.
They're narcissists.
And demonic. They're very ungodly. They're ungodly. They're demonic. They're abusive. They're narcissists. They're selfish. They're conceited. Horrible character.
And it's bad. It's bad. And listen, I'm a Christian. I don't know. I know everybody else is into the universe, the divine feminine, and all of that. I used to be into that stuff, but I'm a Christian. Watch this in the blood of Jesus. And I'm telling you, it's something I need to say. God is tired, and he's pissed. He's tired of these rappers, and he's tired of these black men online talking shit about us. Because I'm not saying that we black women are perfect and that we are not co-conspirators in some of the things that are going on in the community, but the level of evil that's happening to us is not just and it's unjustified. It's not justified. And the reason why I believe a lot of these rappers is falling off is because God is pissed and he's tired. It's too much. These men are not doing their job spiritually. Their job spiritually is to provide and protect. Even if they're sinners, even if they do wrong, they're not doing their spiritual job of providing and protecting. And they're making it even worse. And to make it even worse, when you got these men coming along speaking this rhetoric, a lot of these men are starting to die in their 50s. And honestly, there's some dying in their 30s and some rappers dying like flies in their 20s. Because God is tired of it. This has got to stop. And I'm telling you, you're going to start seeing more and more of these men have a heart attack, getting sick. Same thing with these rappers. Think about how many rappers have died. And the other thing is, last thing I need to say to black women, God is at a point and they're evil. And what's going to happen is if you try to cover for one of them and you try to spiritually protect one of them from the judgment that's going to come down from God Almighty, you're going to end up getting hit too. If God is about to smack one of them in the face, you're going to end up getting smacked too and going down with them. Because this is why it's so out of control. Because the grace and the mercy that has been extended to black men has been way overextended. And the reason why it's been way overextended is because of us. We're the ones shielding them. We're the ones praying for them. We're the ones interceding. And as we're starting to slowly back away, you're going to start seeing judgment come down upon these men. This judgment from God Almighty is going to start coming down and raining down on these men. Because I can tell you the number one thing that I see that's a common factor with a lot of these men is that anytime I talk about God or anytime I talk about Jesus, they get an allergic reaction.
Because they don't want to be held accountable for nothing.
That's what I'm saying. They don't want to be held accountable for nothing. They get an allergic reaction. They're allergic to anything spiritual, anything edifying. They're getting an allergic reaction. But what I'm noticing the collective of us black women with our spiritual energy and our spiritual power. I don't care what you pray to, Buddha, Allah, whatever you pray to. I believe my God hears everybody's prayers and reigns on the just as well as the unjust. But I feel like all that spiritual energy is being redirected from these men that mean us harm back to ourselves. Even the black women who are pick-me's, they're pick-me's, and they haven't been picked because they have not settled. They might parade online saying, I'm this, I'm that, but like I said, they want the exact same type of men that we want.
Yep.
And the pick-me's are redirecting their energy for their self-improvement. Even us women who are not pick-me's, all that energy that used to be funneled into these men, we are saving it for ourselves. And we're pulling the rug from underneath them. And they're mad and they're pissed because they can't do the things that they've been doing, if not for thousands, but tens of thousands. And from the beginning of time, they cannot do that no more. And they're not used to it. And they can't handle it. And the demons inside of them are just going crazy. That's why they're being so violent and trying to hurt us.
Girl, let me say something real quick.
In their power. Okay, go ahead.
The black men that come on these channels, you know why you're still attracted to us black women? Because can't nobody do it like us. We got the best of every fucking thing. Can't nobody, damn well, we cook good. We make love good. We dress good. We are feminine. We do our nails. We do our hair. We put on lotion. We use a wash rag. We wash our ass at least twice a day at large, a good portion of us. That's why you can't. No matter how much shit you talk, you know damn well the truth. So stop it. That's why y'all still be fucking them white women and fucking black women on the side. I've heard all about it. Y'all be on y'all jobs with white wives and fucking the black women on the job. You can't leave us alone because we fine. We can cook. We hold it down in the bedroom. We're the most supportive of y'all asses. Stop the bullshit. You can't. Okay, go ahead, Miss Sincere.
But like I was saying, the stuff that these men have been doing is coming to an end. It's coming to an end. The spiritual protection is going away, and all the demons that are inside of them are starting to manifest. And the thing is, it's been enabled and ingrained in them for so long, it's starting to manifest very, very bad. And that's why you're seeing these men get more violent than what you've ever seen in the past. Because we removed ourselves out of the equation, before they had an outlet for their evil. Before, they were in the household, they were actually paying bills, they were, touching on their kids, the family members, the cousins. But now we women, we've decided that it's better for us to be single moms on our own, and we're the first line of defense for our kids, so they don't have access to abuse us and have that outlet that they're used to. So that's why they're going crazy out in the streets and doing all this crazy stuff. Just like that crazy guy in NYC, you think that's just the first major thing that happened with one of these black male manosphere clowns. I can put it on everything that there are a whole bunch of more cases that the FBI saw where they saw this pattern of these men, black men being violent and doing these things that we don't know about. I know where I'm from, there was this one guy, he killed this girl on the military base. And he was one of those manosphere clowns. And that's just one that I know about. I know there's plenty more out there, but I'm noticing that if we really do a deep dive on a lot of these men, they listen to Kevin Samuels. They listen to a Coach Greg Adams. Whatever his name is, that one greasy nigga with no neck. I don't know who he was, but and they listen to a Thomas Sotomayor. But anyway.
His ass might be next on the list, and God knows a lot of people have prayed for that one.
You know, Tommy Sotomayor,
I find him to be way worse than Kevin, to be honest. I mean, I've seen him when he first came out, so he been needed to go. So, what's Kevin Samuels' legacy, Miss Sincere?
I don't know, he didn't have one, except trolling. Did he promote black love? No, because he won't win a black woman. What did I learn from him? Nothing. The only thing I learned from him is how bad it really is. Like, how many of our men hate us. Like, that's what I learned, is how many of our men hate us. Like, our men just do not like us. When I see guys that I had crushes on, and my own male family members reposted Kevin Samuels, reposted Fresh and Fit, and I'm floored. So I'm gonna be honest with you, his legacy is, if he had not done what he done and became as big as he is, it would not have been it would not be revealed to us on how much these men don't like us.
Oh shit, I knew that over a decade ago. That's why I came up on here. It was shocking.
I'm telling you, there's this guy. I don't even know if I should say this, but there's this guy that had liked me, and he posted Kevin Samuels, posted Fresh and Fit, and he tried to get me. Well, first of all, I told him I'm married, but I'm just like, sir, you're not gonna get a woman. You're not gonna have a stable, functional relationship if you're listening to these type of people, because that's a red flag. That's a red flag for any woman of quality that you want to have success.
Okay.
You know? And then when I see my cousin posting it, I'm just like, Lord Jesus.
You know, black women, if you meet a black man that tries to talk to you, you might want to ask him, do you know who Kevin Samuels is? And let me tell you, the type of black men that followed him, they're going to try to go 50-50 on dates with you. If they don't listen, Kevin Samuels said you need to pay for everything, but you know they're not going to listen to that. They're going to try to make you be on his nutsacks. They're going to treat you like crap. They're not going to pay for nothing. They're going to have multiple women they sleeping with. They're going to treat you like shit, a lot of them.
Exactly. But, I don't know. All I'm going to say is that, you know, I don't like the rhetoric, but it really reveals to me who's who. Like, now I know I could tell before, but now I know really who's who and what I need to teach my children and what my daughter needs to watch out for now. Better than ever. Like, better than ever.
Okay.
But, I don't know.
I gotta get the next calls, Miss Sincere. Just leave us with your last thing about Kevin. Are you happy he's gone?
About him? Yes, I'm happy he's gone. I dislike everything about him. Did I like him? No. And may he fan the flames of hell for all eternity.
Okay.
And that's it.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
You know, yes, I see in the chat where you said, and I remember Kevin Samuels said, we need to give up our coochie quick. Then the minute you give up the coochie quick, he gonna call you a hoe and that you was easy pussy and that you're not wifey material. And he can't use the hoe, but I don't have children, so you can't say, oh, but you gave it up for the baby daddy. You see the games they play? You don't give it up, you're stingy with it. You give it up, you're easy. And you're not worth wifing up. That's why you can't listen to these bipolar, insane men. Fresh and Fit actually said a woman doesn't have to have an orgasm. That's how you know they suck in bed. Men who suck in bed don't want... Men who are bad in bed don't want a woman to have an orgasm. They just want you to lay there and take that little bit of whatever they're giving. Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I just turned you on, and I've been listening for the last 30 minutes, and I think I might have more in common with you than your average caller, okay?
Okay. Tell me.
First of all, well, I'm not your age. I came up in the 60s. I can tell you exactly what's wrong with black men and black women.
Okay.
First of all, I'm what you call a Creole. I live in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
So Creoles, I can only speak for myself. If we get into a deep conversation, I'll say, what my ethnic background is, which is multiracial. But if I'm in a room and somebody says black women get on the right and whoever else get on the left, I'm on the right. So, okay? But due to my complexion, I have more options. And what I can tell you about black men is they're followers for starters. But if you're a strong woman, and I didn't say black woman, I said a strong woman, you can make him do anything you want him to do. I've done it. The key is he has to want you.
Yes, I know that. A man will do whatever. I've seen it. If he thinks you're beautiful, you can treat him like shit and curse him out on the daily, and he still will do what you say.
And I have dated. I've dated successful men. Okay, I'm a professional woman. I noticed though when I was in college, the college boys seemed a little different. They didn't seem to be pursuing the girls like talking about it, and that was just like I felt like a fish out of water because where I came from, you didn't even call the boys. They called you. Now I'm in college, 18, and these boys are looking up in the air, and you have all these attractive girls. Well, I only dated one guy when I was in college, and then after that, my dating pool got kind of stale. So I did what men do. I dated the Mr. Right Now. Well, I was looking for Mr. Right. There's not a damn thing wrong with that. If women would act more like men, and I did because I was the only girl in my family, and I had nothing but cousins who were male, all brothers, no cousins that were my age. So I paid attention to how men treated women and how the women in my family that were really independent, how they were treated differently than the submissive women. So I played that game that Kevin Samuels, whatever you call his platform, he served the purpose, and I'm going to tell you how he served the purpose. All black women have to do is listen to every fucking thing he say and use it on black men. Fuck him.
Okay.
Right or wrong. First and foremost, you don't let a man rate you. You don't let a man rate you. And those women, 25-year-old woman in her right mind give a fuck about what a man pushing 60 fucking think of her. Huh?
That's true, but he did have a lot of younger men following him. They felt like he was their father.
Let me tell you something. Something is wrong with you. And then there are a lot of women that in my opinion, were attractive and had stuff to offer, but they were calling because they were trying to get with him. That's his audience. They were trying to get with him, thinking if they went on FaceTime and he saw what they looked like, he might be interested, not knowing that he was looking for the same damn thing that women are looking for, a damn man. And I don't give a damn if he got caught having sex with a woman, if that was
Girl.
Right?
Oh my God, he was having anal.
Girl, look. You wasn't born yesterday, and I can tell by the way you talk, you know the game. We got a bigger problem with black men. Let me tell you what it is. We thought them not wanting to work and all that was our problem. We got a bigger problem now. These black men don't want straight sex. Now, what the hell can you do with a man that don't want straight sex?
Yeah, they want to go up the butt. I'm not. Nah, leave my butt alone, man.
Oral sex, and then they graduated to anal sex. And let me say something. They want variety. Why do you think all these young women are hopping all around like cats on a damn hot tin roof? They ain't getting no dick on a regular basis.
Okay.
Okay? Back in the day, a woman with a man, and I was one of them. Shit, girl. Well, I got Caucasian hair, so I used to wash and set my own hair, because that's all I have to do with my hair, and I can give you my name if you wanted to mute me after we talk. So you can go on Facebook and see I'm not lying to you about nothing I'm telling you. Okay, I did my own hair after I got tired of washing it and tinting it myself. I had a relative that had a salon. I used to go there. But let me tell you something. When you got a man that really wants you, he's going to sweat you to a certain degree. On the weekend, for sure, he want to see you. You ain't got no time to sit up in nobody's beauty salon getting a hairdo like these chicks are getting now with these braids down to the ankles that take 3 days to do. I wanted to come home and get in the bed with my damn man. You don't have time to really keep your nails up like talking about it. I mean, if it needed to be done on Friday, if your man wanted to come over, you didn't get them done, you would push it up till Monday. You damn sure didn't have time to be doing all of these surgical procedures they're doing, because that is not going to keep a man. When a man is tired of you, you can be a dime piece. If I had to rate myself, I would rate myself as an 8. But I've had the most attractive men I've ever seen women with, and they say I'm a dime. I don't think there's any such thing as a dime. But when men tell you you're a dime, they want us to believe every fucking thing else they tell us, so we need to believe it when they call us a dime piece, right?
Yeah. I mean, do you feel, but it is important how you feel about yourself, but I get it, a man's opinion. Every woman wants a man's opinion, let's be honest. A woman.
Well, you do, and he wants ours too. He wants ours too. It goes both ways. There's nothing wrong with that. But you know when somebody, if you with a man, and men do that, and men have tried to do it to me. I've dated successful men. One of them two of them, that's everything Kevin Samuels wanted everybody to think he was. My first boyfriend is a chemical engineer. He said he was. He ain't never got no degree in chemical engineering. I know what a high value man looks like, but all men want their lady to compliment them. But what a lot of men do is when they up against their female counterpart, if you let them, they'll try to tear you down.
Oh, yes.
They will. And it's because they're not secure with being with a woman that's secure about herself.
Yeah, they don't want your head to be too big.
Well, they don't want you. They don't like a woman who has options and she knows it. They don't like that. They don't like women who have options and she knows it. When they get with you, they try to make you think that they're the best thing you're going to ever have. And that in and of itself is a deal breaker for any woman high-value man, whatever one you want to call it, just like Kevin Samuels. So let me tell you what he did. He ran behind me for 10 years, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We were dating. He wasn't no more than maybe 6 months into the relationship. And I think that's when he felt like he had me hook, line, and sinker, because I didn't sleep with him for 4 months. So it was 6 months into it. He's thinking, well, I got her where I want her. We're laying in bed, and he tells me, did I ever think about losing a little weight?
Oh, hell no. Hell no.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I didn't see anything. I waited a little bit, and I decided, and you got to take my word for this, I decided I wanted to lose a little weight, but it wasn't because he said it. It was because I came up in that era where women would wear those quote-unquote girdles. You remember that, right?
Yes.
I didn't like wearing all those undergarments. And I had a pretty big butt, and it wasn't ladylike to have your behind jumping. And I didn't really want to wear those girdles and long line bras like my mama and my grandmother did. So I said, well, if I lost a little bit of weight, I could get by with control top pantyhose, and that's the route I went. But let me tell you what I did him. When I lost that weight, I quit his ass. Okay?
Yes.
I quit him. And he didn't know what hit him. He didn't know what hit him. I got married on him. Okay, got married on him. Was married for 10 years. And he was always around. Like he was halfway stalking me. And me and my husband separated. But it wasn't because of him. It was because of my husband. Me and my husband separated. And I had that man's attention so much so that after I separated from my husband, before I even divorced him, I picked up the phone and called this same man. And in one conversation, before we could finish talking, he was at my front door for a second go round. Did you hear me?
Yes.
And you know why I dated him?
Why?
I dated him because I knew after me being with him the first time, and I showed him better than I could tell him that he wasn't better than me. He had a higher level of appreciation for me.
But he didn't deserve you.
Yes, he did. Let me tell you why. Look, you don't know how I did it. Oh, yeah, he deserved me. Because he had money, and I knew I could get it. And I did. And over the course of the relationship, he gave me anything I wanted. And as we speak, I'm living in, I would say, a $600,000 home, if not more, completely paid for. And it was completely paid for 2 years after he built it for me. Okay?
Oh my God.
So, can't you play down? See that man you were talking to about 30 minutes ago? He wouldn't want to talk to me. He wouldn't want to talk to me. And these women, these young women that's doing all this stuff with their bodies, trust me, they're going to regret it. Because they don't know what they're going to look like 5 years, 10 years up the line. See, they're following behind those Kardashian whores that can fix anything that goes wrong. Black women are very new to plastic surgery. What they don't know is every 10 years, unless you want sagging implants or sagging and hard as rock implants, you got to get them done again.
And you know, a lot of us don't even need it though. A lot of black women, the Kardashians copied the black woman. They wanted the shape of the black woman.
Exactly, but and when women realize that, this is where black women went wrong. I totally agree with you. Kim Kardashian wanted to look like a black woman, but the one thing that we as black women do that's totally wrong, we always feel like more is more. You see, when all these men started looking at Kim Kardashian and looking at her ass and everything she's doing, they feel like, well, if I get a BBL, I can get an ass twice as big as hers, so I'll be more attractive. Sometimes less is more. And that's where black women go wrong. They're walking around with these false eyelashes that look like bat wings. You are not going to see a high-class white woman or a professional black woman with sense walking around with their hair down to their ankles, nails 5 inches long, all different colors, all kind of stuff going on. You're not going to see those exaggerated eyelashes.
Yeah, you got to look professional and classy. I mean, we can fix ourselves up, but you don't want to over-exaggerate and overdo it, where you start looking crazy.
No, you definitely don't. And you got to be careful with extensions.
Yeah,
you better be careful with extensions. These black women have self-inflicted alopecia. It's still called alopecia, but it's traction.
Yeah, the traction. You know, that's why I don't believe. I was gonna do a video about this. I don't know. I have soft hair that can ease. I can't wear braids well, so I personally believe that wearing hair braids takes out your hair. I don't believe in wearing them tight ass braids, them box braids and stuff. It takes out the hair. I mean, especially if it's really tight. You know, that's just my opinion. You know, some women could wear it, but I don't recommend wearing that a whole lot. That's not good for your hair. You know, especially on little children.
And let me tell you something else that I know, because like I said, my cousin was one of the best hairstylists in New Orleans, because that's where I'm from. White girls are doing extensions where they're sewing them in and doing I forget the name, fusion, where they take small pieces of hair
and they glue it
to your own.
Yeah, I know about the fusion. I know about fusion. You can't tell the white girls got them weaves because it's strand by strand.
Let me tell you what they have. Let me tell you what I know they have. There's these extensions that I got turned on to going to a white salon. And they're more popular now, but when I saw it at the white salon, I hadn't seen it anywhere. It's the extensions with tape on it.
I've seen that too.
And let me tell you that if you pay attention to J-Lo, okay, she's got a commercial about minoxidil. You've seen it, right?
No.
You haven't? Okay, well, let me tell you how she looks. She's got like that beach wave kind of hair, like, you know, white girls wear. When I air dry my hair, that's how my hair looks, like a natural beach wave. Mm-hmm. She's got a hair like that, and it's right to her shoulder. Now, it's full, but it's to her shoulder. Okay, she's got that commercial on right now. How you think in 2 weeks you're going to see her on a Kimball show or some night show, and her hair's down to her ass?
Well, you know, we've known that the white women were wearing weaves before us. We just perfected it, but they've been wearing hair weaves. This isn't anything that the black woman created.
I'm going to tell you where it started. Because like I said, my cousin kept up with all of that because you get all those magazines and they tell you what they're doing all over the world. I wouldn't go as far as to say the white girls did it before black girls, so to speak. And if they did, it was because white women, just because
Now look, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm gonna give you 5 more minutes, okay? Because we have other calls and we do need to stay on topic. But go ahead and tell us.
Well, like I said, it was just due to economics. But after those white girls started getting those sew-ins and the fusion method done on a regular basis, believe me when I tell you, it started to pull their hair out too. And nobody can pull off weave, if you want to call it that. I've always called it extensions. To me, weave sounds ghetto. Any white woman can pull off extensions better than a woman of color with coarse hair, because you're buying hair that looks just like your hair. That's where a lot of black women go wrong. You know damn good and well a woman of color is not going to have hair like a Filipino.
That's true, but there are black women like yourself. I mean, parts of my hair are not curly, it's more straight, but it's not bone straight like an Asian, but it's not kinky like what they think I should have because I'm black. I've seen black women wearing the natural texture straight hair that looks sort of a little bit straight, but with a kink to it.
And that's what they should wear. But we're just talking about how it all started and how these white women were doing it and nobody knew, because the hair looked just like their own hair.
But my thing is that it's still fake. I don't care if it matches or not. It's still fake, and I'm tired of people targeting black women because they wear fake hair too. I don't care if it's the same texture.
But we on the same page. I'm making that point. I'm only saying when they do what they do it right. We need to do it right. Do it right. Don't worry about it. Oh, let me tell you, all of these black men that got these gorgeous beards, like you would see on the front of Ebony magazine, they're putting shit in their beard to keep it from looking tacky. Nobody's talking about that.
Yeah, and now they have the man weaves that they're doing as well. But let me ask you this. You mentioned that, did you say that submissive women, you would see them get walked over, but independent women would be treated with respect?
I'm not quite sure if yes, I did. I said I saw it. I saw it in my own family. And what I saw was, I had plenty aunts that never got married, and I mean never got married, and about 4 that got married and didn't have children. And I noticed that the ones that were married and didn't have children, coincidentally, they got treated better. And as a result, just like you, I don't have children. I got married knowing when I married my husband I wasn't going to have children. He had been married. He was 12 years older. His 2 children were grown. And when we got married, he said, well, you know, I have 2 kids. My sons are grown, but I know you young. And I don't want no more kids, but I'm not going to deprive you of a family if that's what you want. And I said, well, I don't really need children. I'll be the baby in our marriage. But baby, let me tell you, I told him that, but Jesus knows I'm not lying. That decision wasn't up to him.
Okay.
Okay? It wasn't. And that's another thing women do. Don't leave that up to a man. Whether or not you have a child, or if you have 3, if that's not what you want. But I made him think he was making a decision. But girl, I wasn't having no children, and I never had none because I never had a man that I trusted enough to make that much of a change in my life.
Okay. Well, look, I am so happy for your call. I want you to call back in when I go live again. What is Kevin Samuel's legacy? That's the last question for you.
Depending on how you look at it.
Okay.
Depending on how you look at it. Black men can only do what women let them do. Women
But won't they still cheat on you anyway? Once they marry you and have sex with you, they'll go cheat on with another man's wife, screwing her.
Let me tell you something. I would say more men cheat in other races than you think. And I'm going to tell you how white men do it. Because I dated a guy when I was 16. We're still in contact. He's divorced twice. And he don't know why, but I know why. He don't have
I don't want to be rude, but I'm going to have to take the next call, okay?
Okay.
All right. I thank you so much.
I'll call back.
Bye. All right. Bye. Okay. And yes, it's true. I never said all races of men are perfect. All men can cheat on you regardless of race. Point blank, period. But would you rather be cheated on by a broke man or a man that's providing for you? And I know that sounds terrible, but it's real. But I don't want to be cheated on, period. Let's just be honest here. Hello?
Yeah, what's up?
Hi, this is Cerebral.
Cerebral?
Yes.
Oh, what's up?
Hello, I don't know if I'm on speaker. I can't hear you that good.
1 second. I'm driving my headphones on. Give me a second.
Y'all were a mess in the chat. Lord have mercy. I love that call, though. I like hearing from older people, hearing their wisdom and stuff. Okay.
My bad. I'm driving and my headphones. I take my headphones out when I'm driving. What's up?
What is your opinion about Kevin Samuels passing? Did you like him? Did you dislike him?
I was cool with Kevin. I've been on panels with Kevin. I've had conversations with him back in 2016 and 17. He's a cool dude. About him passing, the space lost the. I'm part of the manosphere. So the manosphere.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Why are you a part of the manosphere that is anti-women? Do you want to get married?
What makes you think I'm not?
So you are married?
Yeah.
And so what do you learn from the manosphere from these men about how to treat women right?
Well, first of all, the problem is not men treating women right. You only know one side of everything. That's the way you only come from. The complete woman's side. You've never dated a woman. You never dated a woman, so all you know is you. That's what I said earlier in the call. Like, you can only speak for yourself.
Is this you? Hold on. Did I speak to you already?
Yeah, we called earlier.
Hold on. I'm not trying to be rude, but I need to call other people who need a chance to talk.
Oh, my bad. I received a call.
All right. I'm sorry about that. All right.
Have a good day.
Bye. Okay, so we spoke before. I'm going to call someone back who called in earlier. This is a 313 number. Maybe you're still listening in. All right. Give me a second.
Please leave your message for.
Okay. All right, I'm going to call. This is one of the last numbers who called, a 919 number. And the phone line will be open for anybody else who wants to call after this. Give me a second. Somebody from a 267 number kept calling and hanging up.
Your call has been forwarded to an...
Okay. Like I said, somebody from a 267 number kept calling. Oh, here you are. Now you hung up. I was giving you a chance to talk. You can call in. I'll have the phone line open for about 3 more minutes for anybody else who wants to call. The 267 number kept calling and then hanging up. I don't know if you're a troll or you're really looking for your chance to say what you have to say about Kevin Samuels. So I have this question up here. Again, if she were black, would he have hit it? You know, same beautiful face, just a black woman, the same body, the same height. Based on how he discriminated against black women skinnier, I don't know. I don't believe so. You know, I think maybe he would have discriminated against a black woman, period, just because she's black, even if she looks better than this woman. I put up Beyonce up here because, thank you, KB. I put Beyonce up here because he actually rated her a 7, I believe. This woman is beautiful. This woman is in shape. This woman has healthy, natural hair, even though she wears. Oh, also, when y'all talked about the hair stuff, because that's what the lady from Louisiana was talking about. You know, I support black women wearing any kind of hairstyle you want, but still try to take care of your natural hair as well. Jada Pinkett does not have traction alopecia. Jada Pinkett always wore her natural hair short. She didn't even wear, Jada Pinkett wore a lot of short hairstyles. So I think she has the regular alopecia because she always rocked short styles. She wore long hairstyles every now and again, but most of the time she rocked short hair. But if you keep, I'm not, if I had a daughter, I'm not putting those hair braids in her hair. Them box braids, no. Not until, if she's a teenager, you can do it every now and again, but that ain't like a monthly thing. I believe with everything in me that takes out your hair, those braids, especially your edges, is pulling on your hair. That shit is tight. So I don't promote wearing box braids and all those twist braid stuff like regularly. Like every now and again, if your hair can take it, you know. I'm not against a lace front if you put that shit on correctly, you know. Just don't keep it glued in for like a month or two. Just take care of it. Do it correctly. You know, y'all know I wear different type of hairstyles, but a wig can come off the same day. You know, make sure you are washing your real hair. You can cornrow your regular hair, just don't do it too tight, you know, and make sure you're greasing your scalp with oil and you know, just take care of it. That's all, the best you can. And just because you take care of it doesn't mean it's going to grow down your back. It's called genetics. So it doesn't even matter all the time how well you take care of it, but you still want to take care of it at any length that it is. Okay. So, you know, when I've gone through my depression, my hair knotted up and my hair came out, you know, I've gone through that when I just wasn't taking care of it because I was too depressed to mess with it. Yeah, it's nothing wrong with wearing natural hair. What's his name in this chat? Where is he at? Water Sniper. But if I want longer hair one day, my real hair ain't gonna grow that length in a matter of a day or a week or even a few months. So I'm gonna go buy what I want. I don't want to wear my hair the same every day. That's boring. Black women are not boring. We don't want to wear the same type of hair. And even certain styles that's twist ups and braids require extra hair. That's more ethnic styles. Sometimes you need more hair just to keep the style lasting. I've heard women who've gone natural wearing locks say they spend more money taking care of their locks to make sure it's neat on products than they did when they wore a wig. So just, you know, do your thing. You know, if your man loves you, he'll accept how you look with or without a wig, you know, take care of yourself. You know, most women who like a man, eventually you're going to see my natural hair. I mean, I like you. I want you to see how I really look. You know, I'm sleeping with you. And of course, you're going to see me. Archer, why are most black men fat? Why do y'all sag y'all pants, even though we've been complaining about it for over a decade? Why do y'all, so many of you, have all these tattoos on your neck and face and arms everywhere? Why don't you shave your beards that don't even grow all the time together? Why don't you look more clean like you used to during the 90s and before that? Why do y'all look like drug addicts? A lot of you. I mean, seriously, why can't y'all, you know, get it together? Listen, stop calling. I'm going to call you back because you keep calling and then hanging up. And I'm beginning to think you playing a phone game. So I'm going to call you. And if you don't answer, that is it. I'm not answering your calls anymore. Okay, I think this is the right number. I think I caught it. Hold on. All right, give me a second, y'all. I believe this is the number. Hello?
Hello?
This is Cerebral?
Yeah, hello, how you doing?
Yeah, why did you keep hanging up?
No, I was calling on the voicemail, so I hung up. That's why.
Okay. So, what's up? Are you a fan of Kevin Samuels? Do you miss him? Did you like him? Did you dislike him?
I mean, it's sad what happened, but I can't. I mean, he was alright, but he was 56-year-old talking about women, so it had to go left anyway. Like what I'm saying, some of the stuff was saying was alright, it was cool, but at the end of the day, if you're 56 still talking about women, that means you had a lot of failed relationships. So I can't really take it for face value. You feel what I'm saying? After a while, you're supposed to be settled and show by your example with a beautiful wife at 56. That's the way I take it. I don't want to be talking about
Hold on for a second. Give me one quick second because the chat is moving quick. Archer J, don't you see how beta it is for you to ask me the question, why do black women make less money than black men? Shouldn't it be that way? Shouldn't you, as the head and the leader that you're supposed to be, shouldn't you be making more money to head your household? Why are you in competition with me? You see what I'm saying with this gay shit? You see what I'm saying? No offense to gay people. Why are you even asking me that? You should be proud if black men make more money so that you can head your families financially. Go somewhere and grow up. Okay, go ahead. So what did Kevin Samuels teach you?
I mean, don't be bitter at 56 and be married. I mean, I don't want to be talking about women at 56 and how they done me wrong and nothing went right. But he was a good dude. He had a good message, but that wasn't the message for me. It's about time that age, you know what I mean? You should worry about health. Like what happened? He had a heart attack. You focus on women, you should be focused on diet and exercise. You at your last stage of life. I'm not talking about black women, this, that, and that, and putting nobody down. I should be with a black queen, and we on our way out to the next episode. But I'm going to be healthy and doing the right thing, not chasing women. That's too old. You know what I mean? That's young boy stuff. That's the way I get it. But like, I mean, I can't really learn too much from that because you got to show by example. If I'm going to say black women this, black woman that, you're going to see a black queen with me that's making a lot of money, high income earner, and disciplined. I'm giving her and I'm caring her. But like, you don't got no wife to back up what you're saying. Every divorce and you paying child support for kids, then you can't be the good example because you're not winning on what you're saying. You know
Okay.
Like, he's not Obama and Michelle. Like, we can't learn from him. Like, your relationship ain't work. He's showing you that he don't have a wife.
So you don't feel that he promoted black love?
I mean, he promoted, like, what he was promoting to me was his situation with women, and it went left because he wasn't married. So I feel as though if you talk about how the relationship should be and what they should do, you should show the example of a positive marriage relationship. You understand what I'm saying? Like, but if nothing you did work with any female, you're still 50 years old going from female to female, then you're not the person to be the sponsor for a relationship. You
Can we please start calling us women and not females? So many people do this. Even all Rick.
Women rep. Do you hear Obama talking about black women? He's happy with who he got. She's successful. That's supposed to be the example I'm gonna take advice from. I'm not gonna take advice from somebody that has a rep relationship and it comes out he on child support, this and the third. Like he had too much scandal behind his
Okay,
name.
slow down a little bit because people in the chat can't hear you. You're talking a little too fast. All right, so
I don't think he should have been.
Do you feel he has a legacy?
I mean, yes and no, because it's YouTube. It wasn't that big. And then he ain't Brian Gumble. Like, I mean, we got to be realistic.
He did make NBC News.
Yeah, but I'm saying off of YouTube, what did he do? Like, I mean, it's not monumental. You know what I mean? It's going to be to make them overnight. I respect what he did, but like at the end of the day, it's like confusion. Women against men. I'm not promoting that. Like, just show me a formula that works that's successful, and I can take notes from. That's what I want. A successful black relationship and tell me how it works. But I'm not here to say this person, that person, that person. You got to show me an example.
All right.
If I can't show you that, then I'm going to shut up.
Okay. So the last question that I have for you, are you looking at the screen?
Yeah, a little bit.
You see that woman he was on top of before he died?
Yes.
Do you believe if she were black, he would have been with her?
Possibly so. Yeah, he got black baby moms. He got black women. I mean, possibly.
A lot of men who currently hate black women have black baby mamas. They switch over and they no longer like us. So,
But no, see, me personally, the truth is, black women are melanated and they age slower. So I will always go for a black woman and white because they age slower. So yeah, I mean, ain't nobody better than a black woman because they melanated. They age slower than any other woman on the planet. So if I'm going for the long haul, yeah, I'm gonna get with a black woman because they age slower. And if they work out, they never age. You see that with Jada Pinkett. Black women age real slow. So if it's for the long term, it's definitely gonna be a black woman. That's common sense. They got the best melanin on the planet. That's not debatable. But like, I mean, some people's color struck maybe because he was dark skinned, he didn't have a lot of light skinned girls. But if he's used to all types of women, like, there's nothing wrong with getting a nice chocolate sister or a nice brown skin sister. You know what I mean? A lot of people got issues within themselves. But I mean, he was cool. It wasn't no example to learn from me because he didn't have a successful marriage relationship. So it was just like when he say his opinion, but he never showed that I've been in a relationship for 40, 50 years with the same woman. So I'm not gonna take no advice from you. If you got common sense, you understand what I'm saying? He always tell you all his relationships fail. What you think?
Well, I agree with some of what you're saying. Okay, so listen, I thank you for your call. Bless Beauty in the chat says that she is biracial. Welcome. You said 92% of white women with biracial children are single moms. Yes, and that's a stat that they don't like to talk about. You know, a lot of black men who promote going to white women don't say that they leave them the same way they leave black women, or the relationship doesn't work out the same way with black women. Okay, so thank you so much for your call.
You're welcome.
Thank you. For all the black men listening, I have a live coming up in the very near future. I will put it out there now. I'm going to be asking you, why are you still in America? Some of you claim the white man hates you, the black woman hates you, the system is against you. It's set up for you to fail. So the big question is, why are you still here? That is the answer only the black man will be able to truly answer. So for those of you listening, this is an upcoming live. I want to know, why are you still in a country that is set up for you supposedly to fail and that nobody likes you? Why didn't you leave here long ago? That is the question. So I thank you all who called in tonight. This is the part 2, where people who loved Kevin and people who hated Kevin got to call in and share their opinions. And we had a lot of different conversations. Some went a little off topic, but it was still pretty good. Before I go, of course, I want you to know something, and you know what that is. And shout out to the person I spoke to recently. On for a second. Yes, I'm interrupting this video with my little commercial. I have a little announcement. That's that I am doing some life coaching. Many of you love the advice that I give, and I cannot wait to speak to some of you about any problems you're going through, men or women, any secrets that you have that you just can't tell anybody about. You can speak to me for 30 minutes for $30. And the way that you can do this is Cash App me. My Cash App is in the description box, and you can leave me your phone number with your name. If you have room in the subject line, I will call you between the hours of 6 p.m. through 8 p.m. the same day or the same week. I promise to speak to you, and we can talk about anything again, secrets, anything that's bothering you. I give pretty good advice, and one thing I'm going to tell you is that I'm going to keep it very real with you. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything for you. I'm going to tell you the truth. We're going to have a real conversation. 30 minutes, okay? So that's all I wanted to say. I look forward to the people that would love to speak to me for 30 minutes one-on-one. So let's get back to the video. Bye. Okay, so thank you so much. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And before I go, of course, I'm going to leave you with some clips from TikTok. And while these clips are playing, I would hope that you get the likes up, because it does affect the algorithm. So I want to thank you all again so much. Get those likes up.
This is a PSA. Black women, listen up. We're no longer okay with the title Black woman. It literally robs us of the juiciness, the luxury, the leisure, the protection, and the provision that go along with femininity and womanhood. For whatever reason, people believe because we're strong Black women that we can handle disrespect, disregard, mistreatment, and abuse. No, ma'am, no more. We are no longer taking on other people's battles. We're no longer dealing with the toughest things because we're so strong. We're no longer trying to do that. We are delicate like flowers. With the proper love and care, we will unfold, we will blossom, and we will bloom. We owe nothing to no one. Stop trying to pour from an empty cup. It's not going to work. Anything less than the proper love and care is literally killing you. No.
She's in her masculine because you haven't provided a safe place for her to be in her feminine. She's in her masculine because you have not provided a place for her to be in her feminine. She's in her masculine because she does not feel safe being in her feminine.
A narcissist will put you in a position to break up with him first. This is all calculated and premeditated. He will do things like deliberately leave his cell phone hanging around so that you can go through the cell phone and find the evidence of him cheating. He wants you to see it. He wants you to confront him and start an argument so that it can lead to you breaking up with him. Once you break up with him for catching him cheating, he will turn around and tell his family, friends, and coworkers that you left him, that he didn't want the breakup. However, he's the one that staged the breakup in the first place. He knew what he was doing. He gets to play victim and go around crying and telling everybody, well, I didn't want the breakup. I didn't want it to happen. She left me. No, that's exactly how he wanted it. Now he's in a new relationship all of a sudden.
Men are not friends with women. Unless man is interested to have intimacy and sex with a woman, he's not going to be best friends with her. Because for men, it takes a lot of energy to call, to check, to date her, to take her to park, to the restaurants. He's investing time. And women sometimes think that they can be friends with guys. And they can, truly. And in that case, they're actually using a guy, dumping her emotions, using him to cry over his shoulders. And she doesn't have any interest in him. But men don't do that. And so man, if he is calling and talking and investing time, that means he's trying to get something from this woman. But men are not just friends with women. Unless, again, if they're gay, that's possible. But if he's a straight guy, no.
Ladies, do you ever see these toxic ass females out here that are in long-term relationships or marriages? They got the audacity to shame single women. These types of toxic women are narcissistic and they love telling single women, that's why you can't keep a man. I got a man, but you can't keep a man. Sis, don't even pay that shit no attention. She's jealous of your freedom and your ability to not be controlled. And the fact that you have enough dignity and self-respect to walk away from a trifling man and stand on your own. What she's not telling you and everybody else is that she's miserable in her long-term miserable relationship or marriage. Her man cheats on her and he doesn't treat her right. But her mere existence depends on her staying in this relationship. No matter how toxic it is, it validates her as a woman. This is why she's threatened and jealous of you. You cannot build a life with a man who refuses to cut ties with his toxic, dysfunctional family. A man who refuses to stand up for himself and to cut ties with his family can't do nothing for you. He can't even stand up for himself. How do you trust him to defend and protect what you and him have? His family has a crabs in a barrel mentality. He may not like his family and he may sit up and talk about his family, but he won't leave his family alone. Even if you live far away from his family, he will go behind your back and maintain a relationship knowing he should have been cut them off. He's not a leader. Look at his daddy. His daddy's not a leader. So he's going to lead you off a cliff, sis. He likes dysfunction. He likes drama because that's the way his family raised him. And he will try to get you to water yourself down to fit inside his family. Don't do it. A man's potential is not enough to pay the bills. I don't give a damn if he tells you, babe, just wait till I get on my feet. We gonna be the next Jay-Z and Beyonce. I got your back. I'm gonna buy you all the designer bags in the world. Just give me a minute. I need a strong woman in my corner to help lift me up. That's potential. And it's no guarantee that that potential can develop into something greater. Otherwise, you'll help build him up, clean him up, put money in his pockets and everything, and he will start treating you like you're beneath him, and he'll start smiling in other women's faces, looking good with the shit that you helped him accomplish. Then he's gonna leave you for a woman who didn't have to lift a finger to do anything. He should come to the table with his shit together already, and then you and him have the potential to build something greater off of what y'all both already have. It's not your job to build him up. Potential don't pay the damn bills. You can do bad by yourself. Story time, ladies. Never allow a woman to play matchmaker to set you up to go on a date with a guy that you don't know. Now, when I say a woman, it could be anyone in your family, from your mother, your sister, your female cousins, to that friend of yours from high school or college. Women are vicious. So, you don't know. You think they love you and they have your best interest. And the whole time they're jealous and envious of you. And they're going to set you up and play matchmaker with a toxic man. So they basically know he's going to abuse you. You have yet to find out. So they sitting back eating popcorn, waiting for you to deliver the bad news that everything fell apart. That's the whole ideal. So they can sit back and have something to gossip about. So don't allow any toxic, narcissistic woman to do this to you. Ladies, I have got it all figured out as to why men are becoming unhinged and pissed off at us as of lately. They're mad at us because we are choosing to raise our standards. And, when they tell us that we need to choose better men, we're not even choosing men at all. We're choosing ourselves. We're choosing to level up in our lives, and we're actually doing it. We're actually going to therapy. We're actually making more money and getting to all our goals and dreams. Everything's getting accomplished because we're leaving men alone. And they don't like it because it puts the spotlight back on them. And now they're required to raise their standards as a result. And it only exposes them competing with us, always have been competing with us. See, they don't want to raise their standards. They're comfortable right where they are. And they want us to remain broken too. Game over, fellas.
So we've all heard that 35 years old is the magic number for having babies, and after that your fertility drops, right? Wrong. 35 years old came from an old French study in the 1700s. Whilst it's true that your fertility declines through the ages, a much more recent and larger study found that between the ages of 20 to 34, your chances of getting pregnant within a year is 84%, and when you're 35 to 40, the chances are 78%, so just a 6% difference. So the biological clock thing is unnecessary pressure, and do not let that make you feel like you're behind in life. So the next time auntie asks, when will you marry? When will you have a baby? Tell her, zzz.
God is saying to you tonight, what you do in secret, I will reward you in the open. Do not get discouraged if you're not getting credit or recognized for your good deeds. Do not hold grudges if people don't thank you, because God sees all the sacrifices and will bless you abundantly. Comment amen if you receive it.
All right, babe, I'm going to Hooters to get a beer.
Hold on, let me talk to you in the kitchen real quick. This nigga think he finna go get some Hooters and get no fucking Hooters. We got Hooters at home.
Damn, babe.
Let's talk about kale. Here are 3 reasons why you should be eating kale. Kale has loads of protein. And I know you girls love to say, I need my protein. Does it have protein? It's going to help with them booty gains, baby. 2, kale is high in beta carotene, which the body converts into vitamin A. Now, vitamin A helps your skin glow, baby, okay? It helps your vision, so you can see your blessings coming. Vitamin A also helps to build your immune system, so you ain't out here catching colds or negativity. 3, kale is a probiotic. Probiotics is great for your gut health. It's going to detox that little big belly and break down chemicals on a genetic level.
Yo, y'all want to know why most men don't want to get married?
No, not really. But did you know, as a single female, you can purchase a property, which is a 4-unit, and start building your real estate portfolio and become a landlord and rent out the other 3 units and still qualify for a low 3.5% down payment under FHA. And then after the home is appreciated in value, you could take the equity of that property and purchase another property.
Here's another way that you can tell that a man is on the down low and he's too afraid to come out the closet. We all know that a lot of men get married or they get into relationships with straight women simply to mask the fact that they don't want to come out. The woman is called a beard because she's covering up for him his closeted homosexuality. Take a good look at this woman. 9 times out of 10, these men that are on the down low, closeted homosexual, they choose women who are masculine. She's either going to be masculine looking in the face, her hair is masculine, or her body. Look at her body. She will be built like a man. She will be masculine looking, her mannerisms. He's playing the feminine role and his wife plays the masculine role.
All right. So, thank you so much, everybody. If you're new and just came in, you can press the replay, and this probably will be on my page in like 10 minutes. The whole live that we did, this call-in show. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you soon with the next topic. Life will go on. It will go on, and it is going on. And I want to share some news and everything like that with y'all later. So thank you so much. Bye, everybody.